One.
Let's go!
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Fuck Boston.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to our humble abode, the Thunderdome. On this Thursday Night Football, Thursday, December 22nd, 2022, this sports show starts now! So many things were just running through my head because we are at a time, December 22nd is wild to think about. I hadn't really thought about it until I was introducing the show right there. We are at December 22nd. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Week 16.
Jeez. Wild.
Week 16 starts tonight. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who are much better than we could have ever imagined, and Doug Peterson's staple on that culture has come to fruition. Trevor Lawrence looks like a great quarterback all of a sudden. I just got into the office a little bit ago. And those that watch the Dan Patrick Show saw me come running into the office because I was in here a little bit earlier, got a chance to chat with the boys, got excited about week 16 kicking off, got excited about the holiday season being in full bloom, had a couple conversations about the storm that's supposed to come through. We hope everybody's safe. Then I had to go run to a hospital for my wife and I's first official ultrasound. Okay. It was supposed to be this afternoon, but because of the storm, they thought ahead. We moved it to earlier, ran over there. I saw my baby girl for the first time this morning.
How about it?
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
Congrats,
dude.
Saw her face.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I saw her face this morning. My wife, who has been an absolute badass through this entire thing, and anybody that knows our story understands that my wife has both, mental and physical scars to get to this point, and she has been nothing but a tough lady through it all. And I can't, with the sicknesses, and then obviously everything else that has come alongside of it, so incredibly proud. And then today we go into a room. I walk into a hospital, okay? I walk into a hospital, get this done. Have no idea what's about to happen to me when I go in there.
Sure.
I don't think I fully comprehended what was going to take place. We go in there, we lay down, she lays down. This lady starts doing the whole ultrasound thing. And then it was 10 minutes in almost, I think, 10 minutes, 11 minutes in. Face, just a full up on a TV over here where it's getting projected, and then on a screen right here that's directly connected to the ultrasound. And I was like, oh, is that our, we don't want to have to stop you here. And then I saw her as a baby right there. I saw her as a little kid. I started projecting what she looks like as a teenager. I started thinking about her as an adult. I had a full mix of emotions all in a room. And then I walked out of the hospital, and I don't know if I'm ever going to, I just saw the face of what's going to change my life forever for the first time. And I know that we have two babies in the building, and I probably should have asked you guys for more information on these types of moments, because when I came in here and I said, I just saw her face, you guys were like, yeah, big mom. I'm like, yeah, I think I should have been asking you guys for more detail.
Like that.
But man, that was amazing. That was incredible. But I come sprinting in here, and shout out to my wife. Hey, Sam, you're doing it.
You go, Sam.
You're doing it, Sam. So then I come flying in here, get to do Dan Patrick's show. Then we have 12 minutes or so right before we come live. And then Tone Diggs, one half of the Hammer
Dahn
Cowboys, he almost broke both of his legs 20 seconds before this show started.
Wild.
Because he didn't have the proper hat on.
That's right.
He wanted a different hat that was in the Hammer Dahn studio, which is over there. So he gets up, 20 seconds left on the countdown. A little late. Normally people aren't moving at this particular time. We thought it was an aggressive decision, but the look in his eyes stated that he needed to get this done.
That's right.
So he sprints across the stage here. Did you see Talks to Table at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt? Ty, you and I were briefly talking about it as the intro thing was running right there. He tried Tony Hawk, he jumped higher than I've seen Tone.
Can he recreate it for us?
No. We need not this in this Thunderdome.
No.
We need. He jumps.
He jumped from the middle of the stage almost.
Does a heel click. He's wearing flip-flops.
I am.
Both of these flip-flops hit the ground, seemingly glue.
Yeah.
And his legs, both of them, hyperextend. I thought he was a dead man.
Oh, yeah.
He continued to jog over there, grabbed a cap, ran back. He said, sometimes you need to test them. I'm like, God damn. So the show, a little bit rocky to start because there's a lot of things happening, life events happening. And I think we're going to talk about some life events that have taken place for some people around the NFL, which is the Pro Bowl rosters that were announced last night. And I got to take a trip down memory lane for the first time that I got voted in to the Pro Bowl. And there have been other years where I thought I should have been voted in. And I had an incentive for $250,000 if I made the Pro Bowl, which is woohoo! Yeah, that's big money.
Oh, yeah.
I was really happy about that incentive, and I definitely did think about that whenever I was told that I made the Pro Bowl. I'm like, okay, here we go, another fucking
today,
$250,000. This is awesome. Does it show up on the next check? Great question. So you feel that, but all the emotions that come with being, I don't want to say vindicated by your peers and by coaches and by other people, but it is that feeling. It's a feeling of pride. It's a feeling of like you think of everything you've done and all the people that have helped you along the way to get here, that you're being put into an upper echelon of the upper echelon, which is the NFL. And then Pro Bowlers are just like, held up in higher regard. Forever you'll be introduced as a Pro Bowler. It was a goal of mine. It was a dream. That's why the $250,000 incentive was put on there, because that was a goal of mine. And then as you start chasing that, you start to realize like, oh, a lot of this is out of your control. Like, you can have the best year possible. You can become the go-to guy for the offense on an NFC team that people are talking about winning a Super Bowl. Immediately upon being traded, you become their number one weapon on the offensive side of the ball. Have a resume, have a pedigree, have success in the past, have an incredible game on prime time every single week, basically, and still not give it. That's Christian McCaffrey.
That's right.
Wild. Christian McCaffrey not getting voted in is crazy to me. Big name, big year, big trade, big impact. Normally that's what comes alongside the Pro Bowl voting, because naturally if humans are doing the voting and they don't know everything about the position or everything about the job, they're going to think about like, oh, what's the hype? There's a reason. Big names are a big name for a reason. You see that in a lot of positions that people don't know a lot of things about. Offensive line, it happens on a pretty regular basis where maybe a guy makes 2 or 3 more Pro Bowls than he actually should because he did have such a good start, so everybody knows his name. It's a position group not a lot of people know a lot about, and then boom, you're in there. Christian McCaffrey, running back, big name, popular, very popular football team.
Yeah.
The 49ers faithful is huge,
Has
right?
the most all-purpose yards in the league this year, I think.
And he's the fucking guy for them. Like, he is their guy. Primetime TV, he's getting the ball all the time, and you know who he is, and his dad was in the NFL. Doesn't get voted in. It's like, wow, that's bananas. There's a couple kickers and punters that probably think they got shafted because they have the stats and the, I'd say the situation to get in, and guys didn't make it. It's like, it's a tough thing to get voted in. There's bullshit seemingly that has to take place with the Pro Bowl. The game has become such an exaggerated nothingness that people have almost started thinking that the title of Pro Bowl is something that is tarnished. And I can only speak for my story, which is what I said on the internet last night. Like, I was fucking pumped when I got voted into my first Pro Bowl.
Hell yeah.
I was very excited. I was very thankful. I had thought I should have made it in years past, so that vindication of making it afterwards felt even better. Then I went to the Pro Bowl, and I thought, well, this is a sham. This is not what the Pro Bowl should be. The Pro Bowl should be a celebration of the greatest sport on earth, the greatest league on earth, with their greatest players on earth, like it used to be, I feel like, and we used to see it on television live from Hawaii. And I used to hear stories, because I got drafted in to that OG Colts team, winningest decade in football. Peyton was there, Jeff Saturday's there, Joseph Adai's there, Reggie Wayne's there, Dallas Clark is there, Gary Bright. Like, that team won a lot. So they had a lot of Pro Bowlers. And I used to, I was very lucky and fortunate that they kind of welcomed me in as a young punter into their community and into their family quickly. And I got to hear stories. People share stories about the fucking Pro Bowl and how it was the most amazing time of all time. Pat, you ever been to Hawaii? No, I never been to Hawaii. That's a long, long flight. I ain't never been. That's real expensive. They're like, Pro Bowl in Hawaii is the best. Then they start telling stories. Whole resort just for NFL and families. Everybody hangs out by the pool. It's basically just an open bar. Everybody is cool with everybody. Autographs being signed, pictures being signed. There's nothing off limits. Like, it is just a celebration of everybody, and that's where everybody makes the friends. That's where people talk ball. That's where people got better. That's where the events took place, where you learned about people that you could only be a fan of from afar. So it was like a big deal almost, and it was talked about as such. And I make it. Love Phoenix. Want to move to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Arizona's awesome.
Talk about Phoenix being awesome.
Yes.
But it was like the first year they decided not to do it in Hawaii. They're like, we're going to move it every single year. So it was in Phoenix, Arizona, because the Super Bowl was there. It was going to be the week before the Super Bowl in the city that the Super Bowl was the decision that the NFL made. Didn't even have the full hotel. There was like 2 other conferences happening at the hotel. So everybody was scared to death to kind of meet in public places out there. You couldn't really walk room to room because literally you were getting accosted by the autograph hounds, who are scumbags.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, they faked getting into conference. You want to guess this?
No.
No.
Of course
The
not.
autograph hounds who are strategically preying on people's hard work and their kindness and showing up at places so that they can profit and take advantage of people that are fans of people. It's a sham, that whole thing. That thing is a real problem.
Big time.
Not like in the world. There's other real problems. We heard about them. There's real problems happening out there. Yeah. I'm just saying in that world, those people deserve no pity, ever. Just so we know that. They fake they're in conferences. Luke Kuechly can't even get from like the mandatory meeting that we have to go to the night to his room without like 4 people with Luke Kuechly jerseys. Hey. You think Luke Kuechly's going to want to hang out? You think Luke Kuechly's going to want to
No,
probably not.
hang out at the lobby bar and have a good time? You think if there's other people at the conferences that are at that bar as well, you think anybody wants to say anything about anything anywhere ever?
Nope.
No. And then the practice was like an hour and a half into the desert, and it was cool. We got to see the military folks and shake hands, and that's obviously an incredible moment. But you're on a tiny bus, and then on the way back there was a crash. It was like 2 hours back, so 3.5 hours on a tiny bus. Got to know JJ, Chris Carter, Martellus Bennett was in there.
Marty.
I think those are the guys you don't.
Connor Barwin was in there. Fucking epic conversation. But that was like the only time we got to do it, and it was only with 4 or 5 people, and I was very thankful that I happened to be around some of the most entertaining 4 to 5 people that you could possibly be. Chris Carter on that. Marty B.
Marty B.
Amazing.
Yeah,
I mean,
wow.
absolutely amazing. Drew Brees was in there a little bit, but that was basically the only social thing. And that was like the best time, even though it was. So I think there came a point where the Pro Bowl, in the eyes of the NFL, and I would say it's the NFL's fault. Yeah, how about it? NFL's
go.
fault. Where it used to be held in high regards. And when it was held in high regards, it was treated as such. And that's whenever we had the quarterback challenges,
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
and we had people running 40s, and offensive linemen weren't scared to lift. They were at a resort in Hawaii having an incredible time meeting other heroes of theirs. So I think they're much more willing to do a lot more, as opposed to when it became just a money-making grab basically for a city to get 2 weekends of the NFL, as opposed to what it was in Hawaii. So I think if we go forward and we start treating it as if it's special again, which I think can happen.
For sure.
I think that can happen. I honestly believe it's an easy fix. Yeah. Now, that easy fix is also in conversation with the grass fields
Right.
and with the officiating.
Yep.
Both pretty easy fixes. Boom. What do you need? Oh, you got a lot of it. $12.7 billion every single year just from your media rights.
What?
Bingo.
You have a lot of it.
That's
Spend
just
a little bit
just
more.
me.
You have a lot of money, the NFL. Here's an easy fix. You want to make that Pro Bowl awesome again? You want people not – because the NFL should want Pro Bowlers to be held in like at a standard, right? Like these are our best players. These are our superstars. These are our all-stars. And they make money off the Pro Bowl game. A lot of it. That's a part of those media rights deals that are generating billions and billions. Actually, it's just $1 billion. A little over $1 billion a month. Every single year, the media rights deals are that's paying for the NFL. The games are going to happen. Already been paid for. They're being paid for with ticketing and concessions and merch and parking
Advertising.
and real estate and sponsors getting in there. That's just the media rights deal. Let alone whenever the sports gambling continues to grow, that can be renegotiated. Who knows if that's in a year or 2 years? It's only going to get more. I just think you can invest in things, and when you do, they get better. And I think that is something that businesses should think about doing, more specifically the NFL should think about doing in this time of gross profit. This is the most they've ever profited in their entire life.
Yeah.
this is a time where I think you can invest in some things and bring them back to a standard that I think the NFL would want. And the Pro Bowl is certainly one of them. So there was a lot of last night about, like, the only thing that ever is conversated about is the guys that don't make it, the Pro Bowl system being flawed.
Of course.
And the Pro Bowl is a joke anyways. Who cares? And, like, the joke about, well, you won't be able to play in Pro Bowl, you play in a Super Bowl has been made forever. But the whole, like, Pro Bowl is a sham thing is not a good look for the NFL.
Nope.
And it's not how the NFL players view it, I think. Like, NFL players, your first time getting voted in, it's a real, like,
Huge
it actually means something. Now, guys that make it 10, 12, 15 times, they go into a different stratosphere. I assume it's not like the same feeling every time, but it's an incredible moment to get acknowledged at the highest level. I felt it. A lot of guys felt it last night. The Washington Commanders put out a video where a guy named Jeremy Reaves, who we have a tweet, Tone Diggs found this. Connor, have you heard about this guy?
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard about this? Jeremy Reaves guy makes
Legend.
special teams. He's a special teamer for the Washington Commanders, makes the Pro Bowl. One teamer per side, AFC, NFC. So only one person out of a pool of probably a lot of people playing special teams in the NFL.
Ton.
So here is, can you go back to the,
Yeah,
the
starts at the bottom.
bottom?
Here we go.
This is his NFL journey, okay? May 11th, 2018, signed as an undrafted free agent to Philadelphia. September 1st, 2018, waived by Philadelphia. September 12th, 2018, signed to the practice squad of Washington. September 18th, 2018, released from the practice squad. October 22nd, signed back to the practice squad. December 19th, 2018, signed to the active roster from the practice squad. Then a year later, August 31st, 2019, waived from the Washington football team. Then September 1st, 2019, signed to the practice squad. October 12th, signed to the active roster. We are back getting game checks. Woo! Then he gets waived September 5th, 2020. Then he signed to the practice squad in the middle of COVID. Then he signed to the active roster from the practice squad. Then he gets waived. Then he signed to the practice squad. Then he signed to the active roster from the practice squad. Then he's returned to the practice squad. Then he signed to the active roster from the practice squad. Then he returns to the practice squad. This is all happening within a year and a half.
Yeah.
Up, down, off team, on team, off team, on team. Big checks on the team. Big checks on the team. Then he's signed to the active roster from the practice squad. Then he returned to practice squad. Then he signed to the active roster from the practice squad. It's just been an up and down for this guy, literally his entire career. And now he's a Pro Bowler. And when the Washington Commanders decided to record the moment of him finding out and listening to Tress Way, who also made congrats to Tress, punter for the NFC. Whenever Tress Way found out that he made the team, because the punter, the kicker, the special teams coach, you're with the bottom half of the roster a lot. So when guys like Chris Blair are getting quoted in articles and taken more legitimately than, four-time NFL MVP, I have a lot of respect for that because I know a lot of the bottom half of the roster, late draft picks, undrafted free agents. You work with them literally every single day. So Tress Way, seeing his entire journey, because Tress Way has been there this entire time. Tress Way seeing him up, down, off the team, up on the team, off the team, on the team. There's a lot of question marks that Reaves has been through. Yeah. And then this season, he becomes a dude for the special teams, and then he gets acknowledged by his peers and everything. The payoff for Reaves and the happiness that Tress Way displayed, I think, is a beautiful depiction of what I was just talking about. We have to make the Pro Bowl become something that is worthy. We have to make the Pro Bowl something that people respect, because the players that get voted in, the first time especially, and everybody has a story. This is just Jeremy Reaves' story of being cut fucking 17 times or whatever that is. Hey, bring in your iPad. It happened to him so many times, and then he thought his journey was over, and then he's back, then he's out, then he's back. It's just, when you make it to the Pro Bowl your first time, it's a real feeling, and we have to treat it that way. And if we don't treat it that way, people won't give a fuck, and it'll become something that just doesn't matter. It should always matter, because it does matter, and we have to remember that outside looking in. Talks at Table at Boston Connor, at Ty Schmidt. Connor, your thoughts?
I mean, it's awesome not only just to see the Reaves and the interaction with Ron Rivera, because it seemed as though like something happened with his mother, because Rivera said, she would be proud, but more so like how much it meant to Tress Way. Not that he got the Pro Bowl, but that Reaves got the Pro Bowl. Like when Rivera told him, he started crying. I mean, and he wanted to be there when he was, telling Reaves that he made it. So it's crazy just how much it means to these guys. And like you said, there's so many stories of guys going up and down, but for it to go all the way to the Pro Bowl, like this guy's now a stalwart of this team, and probably.
Well, and if he gets dropped down to the practice squad, somebody's going to pick him up.
Yeah, right
he's
away.
he's not going practice squad
Anywhere.
practice squad back up. Because if you're on the practice squad, you have to get waived, so you have to go through the waiver wire. And then if you do, then a team can offer you a practice squad spot, either the one that just cut you or somebody else. If you get plucked off the practice squad, 4 weeks you have to be active for wherever you get plucked to, whether it's the team that you are on the practice squad of or somebody else. So everybody in the league knows who's on everybody's practice squad. So now that he's a Pro Bowler, special teamer, that means that the coaches and the players had to see him. Mm-hmm. And if the coaches see him and it's a special teamer guy, that means the GM's going to hear about him. He is going to have a job for probably the next 3, 4, 5 years just because of this happening, because he'll just get an opportunity if he stays healthy. So what a come up for Jeremy Reaves. But for the Pro Bowl, we got to hold that up in high regard. We can't have autograph hounds running through the lobby. We got to have that thing be special. And if we make it special, I think then the contests, and I think it's flag football this year, there'll be a little bit more effort because guys will be like, oh, we appreciate this. And also, let's not be scared to put some money up.
Yeah.
Match it to charity. Match it to charity. But if you put money up, actual money up, then the whole business, because I think guys say business, because not only is it business, if I get hurt there, but I'm not going to deal with all the bullshit either. No. It's just business decisions. So if you make it a little bit more special, okay, because it should be. By the way, these motherfuckers are making you all your money. You know that $12.7 billion every single year? That's because people want to watch it. The motherfuckers that are in this game are the people that are moving it. And I know you guys tried to make it not be an individual sport whenever you wanted everybody to dress the exact same and we want no dances. We just want to be able to pluck and place these players, everybody be the exact same. Game was nowhere near as popular as it is now because characters develop every single story, especially in the NFL. So I just think you make it special. Guys will want to come, put a little money, match it to charity. Yeah. Okay, let's make the world a better place, and let's make it something that's special. I think that has to happen and can happen pretty easily.
It seems like going back to Hawaii is kind of the easiest way to do that, because Vegas or whatever, when you were in Arizona, for some of the young guys, I suppose, but some of these older guys who are going to the Pro Bowl when you have a family, it's like you've done Vegas, you've done that 100 times, and that's also Vegas. If you're trying to eliminate the autograph hounds and stuff like that's all you're dealing with in Vegas. It's a bunch of drunk people who are there on their own vacation. It's like, oh shit, the NFL's in town. The NFL's probably not. I don't know if they're going to be able to block
every
out,
team's fans.
Exactly,
are traveling to Vegas. You know why? Because it's Pro Bowl.
Right.
Why are they traveling to Vegas? Oh, because all your stars are there. All your stars are there. That means that's all your money is there. These are the things where I'm like, why don't we just zoom out a little bit and be just a little. Hey, probably better for business if we have a better product. How do we have better products? Oh, better players, better. That's what the grass fields. Same thing. Zoom out a little bit. Every single player that is worth a fuck who has the, I guess pedigree would be the right way to, the ability to speak out against it without being scared of getting cut or getting run out. Everybody that has ever made it in the NFL basically has been grass fields would be much better for everybody, especially because the technology exists. It's okay, so if the people who are making you all your money are basically saying hey, this would make us probably healthier, play longer, guys probably play longer because their joints won't get beat down as much every single practice, and that's where everybody talks about it almost. In the games, obviously, we see the twists and the breaks and the no give and everything like that. But practice, too, every single day, that thing happening. People are choosing to go out into the freezing cold with grass than into an indoor because the turf is there and they don't want to just beat up their knees and their ankles. So these are the things where I think you should invest a little bit in what makes you money if you're a business person. So even if they're saying it's a bottom line decision, it's a business decision, it's well, I think that's bad business. I think you make better business if you invest in these things.
Well, and they've been talking about how big of an issue the Pro Bowl is for years now. It's they understand that, hey, we're on the precipice of, almost getting rid of this thing because no one wants to watch it. None of the guys really want to do it. So it's if that is the alternative, it's hey, you invest in this a little bit and make it a product where, because I assume, like you said, word probably travels pretty fast among players. It's hey, if you go to the Pro Bowl, I go to the meeting and then I have to go back up to my hotel room. Like, you don't enjoy the weekend. It's worse than, I mean, it's not even like a game during the regular season where that's like it's your job. You're not going out and fucking partying or doing whatever. But it's like this is a situation where I'm supposed to be able to kind of let my hair down, so to speak, and relax with a bunch of these guys. I don't really get the
high profile.
Exactly.
That's what you got to think about that. I know this sounds like you spoiled athletes or whatever. Sorry about it. It's like I'm just providing details on why, from inside looking out, why I think it's probably not working. You think J.J. Watt, right? Who's one of the most popular people on earth?
Yeah.
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
I mean, he's obviously not up there with Dwayne
No.
The Rock Johnson, who's the
No.
number
Well,
one Gen Z.
Yeah, that's
I
right.
don't know if you saw that. Shout
saw
out to
that.
Dwayne.
Baby Dewey.
Gen X says thank you to Gen Z, and that was
Okay.
Thank you, Rock.
The Rock. But you think J.J. Watt is, and he does because and Luke Kuechly will never say anything about it.
No.
Ever. And he went to the Pro Bowl, I think, every single time. It was just like, yeah, this is how it is. He'll never say anything, never complaining because of who he is, and that's why he's such a good player. J.J., same exact thing. Like, J.J.'s like, I'm from Wisconsin. Like, this is the Pro Bowl. Like, as opposed to like coming out and saying like, can we not?
This is bullshit.
You know what I mean?
I'm
Can we not-
accosted
can we-
everywhere I go.
Can we not make? Because I'm not. At that point, nobody had a clue who the fuck I was. I was completely. Me and AQ, we were good over there in Arizona. A couple autograph hounds got me and everything like that. That certainly took place. But I was just watching for everybody else, and I'm like, this seems like some bullshit. And then you see the game, and it's like nobody's trying. It's like.
Yeah, they don't want to be here.
Okay. So these guys want to get hurt potentially while doing something that is not. It's work. Like guys felt like the Pro Bowl was work as opposed to like a celebration. And I feel like back in the day it was like, let's celebrate the season that was.
Oh, yeah.
And it had that type of vibe and feel. So hopefully they'll be able to do that so that the Pro Bowl title means something going for 10, 20, 15 years or 30 years from now. Because there's a chance it doesn't. Because all anybody said, oh, the voting's fucked and the Pro Bowl's a sham. It's like, man, that's tough because that's a pretty cool feeling whenever you get voted in, especially your first time. Joining us now, head coach of the Indianapolis Colts back in the day, defensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens back in the day, Cleveland Browns. He was a special teams coordinator and DB coach for the U, back when the U was the U. And if you don't want us to score or dance, don't let us score.
Exactly.
Swag God, Italian-American. Host of Coach P's Keys, which will not be taking place this week because the storm that's coming through. Of course. Chuck would have been stuck here for maybe 3 weeks. Who knows? Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Pagano. Yeah. How are you, boss?
What's up, guys? I miss you, man. I'm sick that I can't be there.
We are
just sick about it.
We are bummed.
And
we are bummed.
It's cold here.
Is it?
We got some snow on the ground. It'll be good for Christmas. But heard you talking about going to the doctor with Sam. How cool was that?
Man.
Congratulations, seeing that little girl, that image.
Coach, and I know obviously you have a beautiful family that's grown. And whenever you went through your leukemia, the first year coaching in 212, you talked about how you wanted to dance at your daughter's weddings. You said, I got two weddings to dance at, and I got a Lombardi to hoist or whatever. And that was literally your first thing that you spoke about whenever you were quoted about battling against this leukemia. And as soon as I heard that, I was like, man, this is a good dude, obviously. And then whenever I found out that I had a baby girl, that moment I thought about. AJ has texted me because he has baby girls. Ty and Diggs now are baby girl dads. Like, I've gotten so much outpouring love about being a baby girl dad, and I can't wait for it, Chuck. And I appreciate you being a great, like, I don't want to say mentor, but somebody to look up to as a father.
Hey, it's a game changer, and you're gonna be incredible as a girl dad. There is nothing like it. I mean, because Tara and then Taylor came, and then the last one, I just knew it was going to be a boy, right? So Tori's born halfway out, got delts, pecs. I mean, halfway, and I'm thinking, this is it, man. We got us a boy. I got a son. Carry on the name, all that stuff, right? Pull it the rest of the way out. Okay. Got us another little girl. She's beautiful. She's healthy. 10 fingers, 10 toes. Thank you, Lord. All that stuff, right? Then the placenta, when you see this, then the placenta comes flying out, right?
Taking health class.
Like, what the hell is that? And then I probably asked too soon. I looked at Tina, just been through, because she did all natural birth. And my girls, 9'12", 9'6", big babies, right?
yeah.
We're talking big babies.
Hey, these women
She
are
did it
badass.
natural. So God, but she is a tough son bitch now. And so right then I go, well, congrats, thinking about a name, but we got to go again. And she's like, fuck you. She goes, you think I'm doing this again? You're crazy. 2 weeks later, Pat, I was on a table getting snipped. You're gonna be amazing, man. You're gonna love it. It's a game changer. Nothing like it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've heard all the stories about, it's good to have a son because of the lineage and the name. And a lot of people have told me, like, I wanted a boy. Then I had a girl, and then as the girl grows older, and then you learn from your dumb male brain about what an actual human with empathy and, emotions and caring. Like, everybody's told me basically, baby girl is just going to change you completely forever in a good way, and she's going to love you forever because you're her dad. So I'm pumped, and I know you were a fucking great dad, and I'm happy to hear Tina said the answer's no. And also, go get your balls chopped up.
Right now.
You're never putting me through that ever again. It's a fantastic thing. Shout out to Tina. Shout out to you, Chuck. Let's talk about this game tonight a little bit, shall we? Jaguars. Doug Peterson seems to have it, rolling down there with the Jags. They play, I think, like a passionate style of football. I'm seeing Trevor Lawrence do a lot of flexing, yelling, celebrating with his teammates. He was never like that, I don't think, at Clemson, and I didn't follow college football as closely then, but I don't think he was like that at Clemson. He was like super professional all the time. Like, hey, this is the next Andrew Luck. This is the next John Elway. This guy is going to be a guy for sure. And I feel like he lost all of his emotions because they almost made him a robot into what he could be in the future. This year, he's celebrating. Doug Peterson has him buying in. They're going to be able to win a game that is probably going to be predicated from the ground game as well with the concepts that they have. I feel like Doug Peterson has done an incredible job. He won't be a part of the Coach of the Year conversation because they won't end up with double-digit wins or whatever. But if you think about where the Jags were to where they are now, what do you think happened? What do you think took place? And what do you have to say about Doug Peterson and that entire program?
Yeah, phenomenal job. To your point, what he's done walking in there. We knew what a train wreck it was, a year ago. You can basically cancel that year out for Trevor Lawrence. He certainly is what we all thought he was going to be. He's showing that on tape, and he just changed the culture down there. And you watch those guys and again, how they play. There's not a bunch of big names like on that defense, but from an offensive perspective, that kid's playing as good as anybody right now. They've won, 3 of their last 4 games. Huge comeback win again, down 27-7 and come back and beat the Cowboys with a walk-off pick 6 in that game. And just to see the locker room and to see how those players are, the whole culture has changed. The whole mindset has changed. Duval is going crazy. You mentioned the run game. Etienne is a beast. I mean, he can roll. Mike McCoy, you remember Mike McCoy, the former head coach, the Chargers and stuff. He's the quarterback coach, down there for Trevor, and he's done a phenomenal job with them. And they got playmakers. Zay Jones, what do you have, 3 touchdowns, last week against the Cowboys? Marvin Jones. They've got a bunch of dudes, on that football team, and he can sling it. He can make all the throws. They take care of the football. He's had some issues, with fumbles and things like that, but they protect him. Cam, the Cam Robinson's out, the left tackle. So that'll play, that'll be significant tonight, against that unbelievable defense of the Jets. But Walker Little, number 72, keep an eye on him coming in at left tackle. He's been their swing tackle. He came in, late in that Dallas game and did a nice job. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Christian Kirk there. I mean, they've got players, on that offense. And again, kudos to Doug Peterson. If you look at this thing, man, they've already beat Tennessee, right? At Tennessee.
Yes.
So as far as tiebreakers go, they pull this one off tonight. They get this one, and then I think they go to Houston, right?
Yeah.
And they'll find a way to get that dub.
And then
they
got
go home.
Against
they
Titans.
go home. No, hey, this is a brand
New
Jags. Okay, it ain't the same. It ain't Clown Town anymore down there. Duval will be going crazy. And can you imagine if it comes down to the division title in Jacksonville.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God. And they win that thing. Now you got to throw Doug Peterson in the conversation, right?
Agreed.
For Coach of the Year.
I said earlier, I guess, that maybe he wouldn't be able to be in the conversation of Coach of the Year because he wouldn't be able to catch up to the people that are going to be in the Coach of the Year conversation. To Sirianni, I assume Shanahan will probably be in there. Kevin O'Connell will probably be in there. Andy Reid. He's been around.
McDaniel.
You know what I mean? They kind of McDaniel down there might get
Doug
in
is fourth right now behind Sirianni, DC, and Shanahan.
McDermott's not even up there.
Could you imagine they win the AFC South after everything that's happened down there? And you talked about Christian Kirk. We showed a highlight of him there. He offset the entire wide receiver market. Remember, people are shitting on Christian Kirk about how much money he got. They're like, the Jags had to pay an extra $4 million a year just to get him to play in Jacksonville. So that's not the actual wide receiver salary price tag. And then Devontae Adams was like, yes, it is. Tyreek Hill was like, yes, it is. And Christian Kirk, I feel like he was not getting a lot of flowers at all.
No.
Him and Trevor have developed quite a nice little relationship. Third down, he's getting a rock. He's extending downs and drives for them. I like the way he's playing with Trevor.
He's got almost 1,000. He's got 966 yards and 7 touchdowns. It's pretty good.
That's a hell of a season.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody was actually shitting on him.
Hey, you think there's any Colts fans out there? Wish we would have maybe paid a couple bucks for number 13 there for Jacksonville.
Well, who's going to throw a
Bunch of teams out there would love to have him. He's proven to be worth every penny. That throw and catch right there is unbelievable. Again, you guys were talking about the Pro Bowl. It's a popularity vote. We know that. We know guys get grandfathered in, year after year after year just because of who they are and what they've done and the years of service in the league and all that stuff. And yeah, there's a bunch of great head coaches and first timers this year that are on that Coach of the Year list. And Sirianni wins it, all of us will be cheering and clapping and throwing.
Hold
flowers
on.
to him.
Hey,
How many games did?
Hold on. Sirianni, because he said he got up on the bench and said, that's for fucking Frank. Is that why all the coaches are pumped for Sirianni? Or is you talking about all of us as a show for Sirianni?
No, I love that. When he did that after the fucking game.
Yeah.
Hey, when I was there for that game, Pat, we saw this Jim Lyons, our donut guy from Jack's Donuts, offered up his sweet. I'm sorry, no donuts today.
Yeah, everybody was bummed. Holiday too.
Yeah.
So bummed.
I dropped the ball on that one as well, so you guys can find me for that mishap.
Deal.
But
see if I feel.
I went by the hotel night before Saturday night, and a good friend of mine, Joe Panunzio, assistant special teams coach, another unbelievable Paisan, grew up with, is with the Eagles. So I went by to say hi to him and some other people in that organization. Leanne Hartley's unbelievable. She's assistant. She's chief of staff for the Eagles. She's unbelievable. Jeffrey Lurie's right hand person. But anyway, I got a chance. Nick came down after the meetings, how the team meetings end and all that.
Yeah.
Came down and said hello. That guy, you've had him on the show.
Love him.
He's as real and as authentic and as good a dude that I've been around. He's just a genuine, humble, good person. And I can see, they've got a hell of a roster. Howie, that roster they built, top to bottom, both sides of the ball, depth, the whole 9 yards. And wait till you see what Gardner comes in. Minshew.
Yeah, I know, right? He can move a little bit.
That dude's going to ball out, but he's a great guy. And when he jumped on the bench and they pulled that game out late against the Colts, and he said that's for Frank. That's loyalty.
Yes.
That's all you want in this damn thing is to know that this sumbitch got my back, and kudos to him.
You said, so you were going to say something about a popularity vote. If Sirianni wins it, everybody will be happy. And then I stopped you because I heard a little bit of the coach fraternity there. I heard the coach fraternity come out of your mouth like, oh, just hire a player, huh? It's just so easy, huh? That's what it is, huh? Is that the case? I love that. The fact that they got a Panunzio.
Come on.
Sirianni's staff has a Panunzio over there in Philadelphia.
Not bad.
The Italians have done well in the football world. But you were going to go on, I think, to say something about maybe another coach, Doug Peterson, or somebody else winning the Coach of the Year.
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell, you've had on, he's done a phenomenal job. But how many games did Jacksonville win, last year and the year before that? And where have they been, and what he's done to turn that around in such a short period of time. And you can say what you want to say about AFC South, the NFC South, whatever. Somebody's got to win it, and he's got that team playing at a high level. So, I mean, he should be in the conversation, no doubt. I mean, looking at where they were and what they've overcome, and him coming in there in a short period of time. And they've got good players. They've got a good roster, but he's changed the whole culture. He's changed the whole mindset.
They're only going to get better, too, and their owner will spend money. We saw him fucking put 2 pools in a stadium, right? Yeah. Try to bring a little bit more, little energy and juice to that stadium. This guy will spend money. He was going to build an entire city. Remember Urban Meyer? Was going to have, hey, we need to build an entire city.
Urban Town.
I need this over here. I need this over here. Urban Town in the middle of Duval. And Khan's like, all right.
Sure. There's going to be a big statue of him in the middle.
And if Doug Peterson is helping make decisions and the GM Caldwell, is he?
Balky's
still there, Trent.
The Kirk signing looks good.
Yeah.
Obviously, Trevor Lawrence was allegedly a layup, but you draft him. ETN, if he gets going, which hasn't had a touchdown in a while. Tonight feels like for him to get in for our Super Boost as well. Another plus 500 available on FanDuel. We're going back to that.
I love ETN.
Me
remember,
too.
Hey, Pat,
He runs hard.
remember all the talk, about, is this Balky's fault, this, that, and the other? And
He was the
nobody wants
clown.
to work?
He was the clown that they were clown-tawning.
But for Doug to go in there, and mesh with Trent and make that, because we all know how difficult that can be, when you put, a head, because nowadays what they're doing is all the agents basically are saying, okay, we're pairing this up-and-comer, with this GM, and they know each other. They've got, history together, and they're going to make that thing work from a, communication standpoint. We know how hard, that can be and all those kind of things. But to go down there and make that thing work with Trent and build a relationship, those 3 pillars that Mr. Irsay always talks about, the owner, the head coach, and the GM, those guys got to be in lockstep and got to be on the same page. And it certainly looks like Doug has made that thing work.
Hey, brand new information to my ears. I don't know how known it is. And it only makes sense that the agents are pairing coaches and GMs together because there's like the Colts are probably about to have one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the Colts are probably about to have one. It makes sense that taking it out of the team's hands, like, hey, we think this guy and this lady, this guy will be able to get along and do the job. So if you like one of them, you have to like both of them, basically. Is that kind of what's happening? And how long has that been taking place? Just ever since, like, the whole discovery that GMs and head coaches getting along is a big deal? Is that when has this kind of been as of late, Chuck?
I think you're seeing more and more of it, especially in these last couple cycles, these head coach and GM cycles that have come through. And I think you're only going to see, that continue to be something because, again, that's the most important thing. And just get 2 guys, get a couple dudes that are really, really good at football and know football and got big brains and are smart and have no ego.
That's easy to do. That's really easy to do.
Just no ego in it, because most of the time it gets fucked up because everybody wants to be the reason that we win, the reason we won a Super Bowl, the reason we won a division, players, coach, everybody. But take that out of it, right? Big team, little me, just serve each other. Just be a reason. Just be a reason. So find a couple guys that are really good at football that have energy and culture and juice and all that kind of stuff that can reignite your organization and throw the egos out. Check them at the door. And there's going to be conversations, Pat, that are going to be difficult and tough. Personnel conversations, offensive room, defensive room. But then at the end of the day, as long as everybody's got a respect and trust for each other and everybody knows each other has their back, then you make a decision and you move forward. You shake your hand, you walk out of those rooms and said, this is how we're going to do it.
We just got some Coach P's keys there.
That's right.
Yeah, we did.
Hey, team on me, team on 3. Chuck, come on. You putting your hand in or what, dude?
Come on, Chuck.
Come on. Team on me, team on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Team.
That was awesome. It's not as easy to do that, though, man. What you just laid out, I think, is the dream. I don't know if it's as easy to do that with humans being humans. It is fascinating, though, that the interview process was always GM gets interviewed, head coach gets interviewed separate, and then once it's like, let's see if these two will like each other, you both have the job if you like each other. Okay, so for the next 3 hours, let's see if you guys like each other.
Right.
Okay, that's an interesting, oh yeah, you got it. Now it's like GM and head coach come in together. GM lays out team visions. Head coach says, and with that, we'll be able to do this. It's almost like you're hiring both
Partnership.
as opposed to separately. That might be a much smarter way to go about doing it as a whole anyways, because then you have job descriptions immediately, right? Because then there's an understanding before the meeting even starts. It's like, hey, I will handle contracts, cap, negotiation, and then play, like, okay, well, I need the bottom 10 spots then. Coach is like, we're pulling for bottom 10 spots of the roster. We get to pick that, and also we get to go strategy. And then, well, I would like to hear strategy, though, before game because I would like to input. I have 51% of the vote, though. You do not. It's like, oh, that shit kind of gets handled going into the interview.
Right.
As opposed to figuring out, am I anywhere near on point there as somebody that's been through the process a couple of times? Would that work or no?
No. So the problem is like when I went and interviewed for the Colts job, after that 2011 season and 2012, a lot of young guys like myself, first timers, and these guys that are getting hired, you don't really know, because first of all, it happens really fast, right? We lost to New England, phone rings, you're on a plane, you're sitting in front of the owner and a GM, and it's like, you don't even know what questions to ask. If I were to go in now and have another opportunity, all the things, to your point, Pat, all the things that you just talked about, those are all the questions that need to be asked as you're sitting at the table. You spend time just getting to know each other, right? Giving them an idea who you are, what's inside you, what makes you tick, okay? What's in your DNA? What's in your character? What's your identity going to be for this football team? We're going to be tough. We're going to be disciplined.
Hell yeah.
Yada, 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 right? What's the culture going to look like? What's that going to smell like? What's that going to taste like? But then it's like, okay, who's got final say on the 53?
Yeah.
Okay. Who's got final say on game day? Inactives.
Yeah.
All right. So all those kind of things, and guys that like Belichick doing it all, I mean, kudos to him. Because it's so hard.
Yeah.
Just handling the locker room, Pat, and the coaching side of it, offense, defense, special teams, all the things that you have to do as a head coach, and then do all that. No, thank you.
Negotiate. You got to negotiate with everybody that's in there immediately. It's a banana situation, and that's why. Go ahead.
So much there, Pat. Guys, it's just like.
But Chuck, hold on, Chuck. He has a vision that he can just say, "This is what I want. This is what I want to do next year. So this is what I need. I need a guy that's like this. I need a guy that's like this, and I need a guy that's like this. So I'm not going to the combine because I don't need to look at however 180 guys.
Bingo.
I need to find these 3 dudes, and this is the exact style that I need. And that's the weapon. That's the only pro, I think, out of Belichick doing both, right? That's the only pro is like, I'm the one deciding the vision, and I'm the one deciding the execution. So if you have a picture that you want to paint or a team that you want, you can just go get exactly who you want. Literally fuck everybody. Like this is how we're doing it.
So Pat, like when they pair these two guys together and you ask those questions, okay, who's got final say on the 53? Who's got final say on game day? And who's active, who's not active? What are the inactives? But to me, it's like, okay, when these two come in together and we talk through all these things, again, it's a collaborative effort. You hear that word a lot, collaborative, right? So you have to trust and say, okay, yeah, I have final say, but it's going to be us. It's not me, it's we.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a collaborative effort on who makes the 53, who gets on the practice squad, who's up on game day, all those decisions. And then you just got to hope and pray, okay, when these things are being said on the front end,
it's real.
When you're 0-0, you've got your honeymoon, you haven't lost a game yet. Everybody thinks you're the greatest thing since sliced bread, all those discussions back then. Okay, is that going to hold true when shit hits the fan? And things start to get tough. You lose a game here or there. Okay, are we going to stick to the guns? Are we going to stick to the plan, the organizational flow chart? Who's in charge of what? Who's got what role? Who makes what decisions? Again, it should be we, not me. And the organizations that do that, those are the ones that they're gonna have success, and they're gonna stick to that plan, no matter what.
And just to kind of wrap this whole thing up, that's why what Peterson and Balky have been able to do in Jacksonville have been so impressive, because they didn't come in together. One has been a mainstay, not great, not great results. The other just coming off a Super Bowl, basically, right? Took a couple of years off. So for them to meld and to put their egos aside and say, yeah, we'll take all the good ideas, let's go ahead and run with it, is a beautiful thing. And Chuck, what you're describing, obviously a lot of people are going to be like, oh, Chuck's, that's everywhere. That's the entire NFL. That's what happens. That's why it's so hard to find a new GM and a new coach. So whenever you get put into a situation where you have to clean sweep, you might not like what's on the other side. You have no clue what's going to happen. I enjoy them interviewing together. I think that's a smart play. Connor, your question for Coach Pagano.
Yeah, Chuck, obviously Zach Wilson played last week, played pretty well, even though they didn't get the win, and now he's playing tonight against the Jags. Do you think there's anything he can do to become the long-term starter here? And also, is buying mopeds or motorcycles for the offensive line a great move, because Zach Wilson knows Mike White can't do that on the contract he's on?
Smart.
Yeah.
Chess.
Really, I didn't see that, Connor. Did he really do that?
Well, we don't know. It was certainly a gift of fat scooters
Yes.
that are amazing, and Zach got him for his offensive line. Yeah, it's an incredible thing.
I don't know, mopeds out there in New York. I don't know. Maybe some watches, some rollies, or something like that might get you. Get you beloved in that. Bottom line is, it don't matter what he gives cash wise, what gift wise. He's got to play and he's got to produce. Okay, those are real. Is those the ones that are like
the fat ones
can carry a golf bag and all that stuff?
Oh, I don't know if it's a golf caddy. I was on one of those over at Nick.
Those I've seen those out. And of course we play up in McCall, Idaho, whitetail. Put a golf bag on that. Got a place for a cooler. It's got a sound system on it. Freaking unbelievable.
Yeah, I went to Nick's country club a couple months ago.
Fancy.
Yeah, Nick is the only one in here that is a country club. Congrats, Nick.
Congrats,
Nick.
Go, Nick.
Thank you.
Came
Hey,
with the audio
so,
award.
Connor, to your question, this is a huge game for Zach. Huge game. And he did throw for 317 yards. He missed a lot of throws in that game. I think he was 17 or 18 of 35. Did make a hell of a play at the end of the game on 4th and 18, to give them a chance at a 58-yard field goal to tie and to go into overtime. But this is a huge game for Mr. Wilson. He's got to play really well. Knight can run the ball. They've got a good offense. He's got good weapons, on the outside. He's just got to take care of the football. He's got to make good decisions. They're not asking a whole lot of him. But he's got to play well tonight, because in my heart of hearts, I got to believe if Mike White was healthy and available, he'd get the start tonight.
Well, I don't know, after the scooters were gifted from Zach Wilson, trying to win the boys back, maybe win the locker room back, and who knows if they were ever lost, and who knows if that was a sponsorship. You didn't have to pay anything. Then he's got a big brain, and I got respect for him either way. Ty has a question for you, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, I don't know what his status is. James Robinson, is there any chance you think – I mean, you mentioned Zonovan Knight, and he's been looking pretty well for the Jets, but – is there any chance of like a potential revenge game? Maybe James Robinson comes out of nowhere and has a big game tonight against his former team. And also, why is it when a guy like that, who they traded for him mid-season, and after Breece Hall got hurt, we thought he was going to be a big deal, and then all of a sudden he's basically been like a healthy scratch a few weeks.
Yeah, That's a great question, because when he got there, he did produce, and I don't know what his status is. For tonight, that hasn't been.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Storm.
The weather.
Oh no!
Oh, he's back.
Hey, you're back. You're back. You look good.
Are we okay?
Yeah. Well, you had a moment there where we thought we lost you. We didn't know what happened, and then all of a sudden,
no.
he came back,
if he's healthy, and whatever the issues were with James Robinson and why he hasn't been going, whether it's an injury deal or he's going to be healthy for this game. To your point, Ty, guys are always looking, for an opportunity to go show up and show out against their former club. So if he is available, shoot, the weather is going to be, I guess it's going to be sleeting sideways. They're supposed to get, I don't think it's going to be that cold, but a bunch of rain. Turnovers are going to play a huge factor in this game. The team that takes care of the ball, the best in this one, is probably going to win it. But the ground game will be important. So I think if he's healthy and he's available, this would be a great opportunity for them to feed him the rock a little bit and let him get off against his former team.
So Kevin Roth, who's a meteorologist down there in Houston, okay? We don't know if he can read the Doppler like Joe DiNardo. Rest in peace, Joe. We assume he can't. Is he close?
No one can.
We don't know. He put out a tweet that said, #Jets forecast, looking every bit as ugly as expected and maybe even a bit uglier. The wind and rain combo will be a nasty 1-2 punch for Thursday Night Football. Full NFL weather forecast is updated on Roto Grinders. Love that the meteorologist has gotten into the sports game. That's smart. Hey, I respect your Doppler.
Good work.
I respect your Doppler, pal. So under was at 39.5 this morning. It's currently at 37.5. I was literally just hammering it again, that whole thing. We have, or it was 37.5. We made it 39.5 for our Super Boost.
It opened earlier in the week at like 42, 43, so it is.
Yeah, so as this storm keeps going, I mean, it feels like it's going to get uglier and uglier. And Chuck.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Hey, how do you coach cold? Can you coach cold? A lot of conversation about cold this year. Cold happens every year, okay? Cold happens every single year in the NFL. This year, a lot of conversation about cold, and I assume next year, a lot of conversation about cold as we get cold here. It's supposed to be like -11, -10, -8, negative whatever it is, I think, for like a bunch of games. Can you coach that, or you just gotta hope the guys show up?
Yeah, I mean, look at what Miami did.
They wore shirts.
Going up to Buffalo, right?
Got it done.
It's a mindset, So suck it up, Buttercup. We're going to have to play in the damn cold. We're going to have to play in the elements. That's why it's so important for these, like Kansas City and Buffalo. Trying to get the number 1 seed, trying to get the bye, and then home field advantage. In the playoffs, that's huge. We all know that, and it doesn't always work out. To your advantage, but. It's a mindset, Pat. It's going to be cold, so you can practice. Remember, we would have I'd get Troy and, hey, clear the fields, Troy, and he'd, drop his head. God damn, really? Get them cleared. We're going outside. We're going to practice in the cold, and you guys be like, what? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's a mindset.
The best days, Chuck.
Remember, we would go in the indoor if the fields were really frozen, and open up all the doors.
This was the worst.
And make it really, really cold in there, as cold as we could.
Jesus.
Just to get used to it. Have to handle the ball. Like we talked about ball security. You got to be able to handle the ball if it's wet, if it's cold, all those kind of things. So. Again, it's a mindset. There's extra focus on taking care of the program, and playing in the elements and the rain and the sleet and the snow and cold, all that stuff.
Yeah, it's just an added thing you have to think about going into the week. So that's why home field advantage is even better, let alone the elements and being used to it, even though everybody gets cold. It's not like when you get used to it, you build up a tolerance. It's not like drinking more beer, more whiskey, smoking more dope. It's not like a tolerance you build. You just kind of get used to this fucking stinks. And it's an added thing that other teams have to think about. I didn't know if you could coach it, but I do appreciate the fact you go, it's going to, hey, listen, it's going to suck for everybody out there. Now we move on. Get to your meetings. Let's go ahead and keep it, because that's all you can really do. Tone has a question for you before we get to your prediction for this evening's game.
Coach, with the weather, with the wind and the rain, on the defensive side, you being a DC, like, obviously, are you going to put another guy in the box? Are you playing more man versus zone on the backside? Is the additional guy in the box going to be a linebacker or a defensive lineman? Like, when the elements are like this, what changes does the defense make?
A great question. Number one, Tone. To your point and your question, based on you're going to match up personnel wise. If they go big, you're going to go big. You're going to have base out there. If they go 11 personnel, one back and one tight end, 3 wides, then you'll match. With nickel. Personnel, sub personnel, your 4-man, 4-2 look, 4 down, 2 linebackers, 5 DBs, and match up accordingly. But when it's elements, again, there's going to be extra emphasis on the ball, punching the ball out, peanut punch, which
Chuck Pagano punch. Chuck Pagano punch.
The Pagano punch, all those kind of things. But yeah, and there's going to be emphasis on the run game. You think about Bill. Going up to Buffalo a year ago, right? And running it 40, I don't 3 passes, right, the whole game. So there's going to be an emphasis if it's really bad, and it's going to be tough. Like Zach has a hard time throwing when the conditions are ideal. No. Can you imagine now when it's going to be sleeting sideways and it's going to be windy and rainy? You know, hand the ball off. It's going to be run,
we
pass.
should call the boost sleeting.
Run. Wow. You know, so with that in mind, you know, you can load up and you can play, you know, big personnel. You may have an extra safety instead of a nickel back in there and load up to stop the run, play tight coverage, get up tight on these receivers, and make these quarterbacks and these elements be pinpoint passers.
All right, let's get to it. Sounds like I already know where you're headed.
Yep.
Just out of a couple things in the way you have said them. This evening's game, Jags at Jets, at least 20-mile-an-hour winds and rain over there in New Jersey. Chuck, who wins?
Yeah, so the first thing I'm going to go to is you look at, you know, these teams and the trajectory of these organizations and these teams, and it sure looks like Jacksonville is ascending. They're playing their best ball, you know, when you need to play your best ball, and that's toward the end of the season. Winners of 3 of the last 4 coming off that huge win against the Cowboys. And you look at, you know, the Jets on the other side, they've lost their last 3, I think 4 of their last 5. So they start out really, really good. They start out really, really hot. They have to bench this quarterback because of a, you know, one word he said at a presser, no. Got him, you know, sat down, put in timeout, you know, if you will. Got his wrist slapped.
Like a baby.
And now Mike's hurt, and they got to go back to this guy. I just think one team is doing this, and the other team's kind of, you know, treading water, taking on water right now. You got the number 1 overall, Trevor, you know, coming in from Jacksonville, number 1 overall pick against the number 2 overall pick. And again, we all see where Trevor's going with his game and his play and everything that Zach's been through. I don't know how you can go in this game and just, you know, not have your head full of all this stuff that you've been through if you're Zach Wilson. You know, being sat down, everything, the narrative. You got a Super Bowl winning coach, you know, going in there, and Doug Peterson, who's done a phenomenal job there. And you got a Jets defense that is top 3 in the league. You look at all the categories, they're top 3, 4, 5 in a lot of the statistical categories. They're very stingy. They don't give up, you know, a bunch of points on that defense. I don't know if Quinnen, you know, Williams is going to be available. If he is, I mean, they got a bunch of dogs on that defense. They got talent. They got anchors at all 3 levels. Sauce Gardner and company, Reed on the other side. I mean, these guys, Mosley. I mean, these guys can play. Quincy Williams is a that Jets defense is fun to watch now.
Hell yeah!
They'll keep them in the game. This is going to be a close game, but I think Jacksonville comes out on top of this one.
Underdog.
You know, I think they win this thing 24-21. I'm going with the Jags.
A lot of points.
That's a lot of points. You think the over's hitting as well,
huh? You know, my prediction came before I got, you know, all the information from these wonderful meteorologists around the country. You guys have accentuated and talked about all these dudes being like gold jacket.
Not everybody.
No.
Just a couple.
Comes to predicting the weather. You know, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah.
You know, if nothing hits there, right?
No, Chuck, that'd be good because that means everybody's safe, everybody's okay, nobody's in trouble, right? But also, meteorologists being real ridiculous about this particular storm. Real wild about this storm, Chuck.
No, I know. So, you know, God forbid nothing happens and we've got just like unbelievable, great weather, all that kind of stuff. But it could be a, you know, 14-10. It's going to be a close game. Jags are going to win.
Okay. We appreciate you so much. Stay safe. Merry Christmas. Please echo that sentiment to everybody.
Hey, happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you guys. I love you guys. You guys be safe. Very, very thankful and grateful for all you guys. Sorry I missed you this week. Thanks for having me on anyway.
Not your fault. Once again, we can blame a lot of people. The meteorologist or the weather person who read the meteorologist report.
Yep.
The meteorologist who read the Doppler, the Doppler who was trying to read Mother Nature. So we can blame Mother Nature all the way through weather person. It's not your fault, pal. Don't you ever apologize. We miss you. We can't wait to see you.
Tight ends tonight. Conklin, Zama for the Jets.
Ingram.
And then Ingram I think they're going to play a huge role in this thing tonight, right? Along with the turnovers. And hey, take a football and take one shot at a hoop for me and bury one of those.
Okay, I will.
Hell yeah.
I hate one sitting down yesterday. I got some lotion on my hands.
Shouldn't have that ball.
I need Frog to rub his thing down. I need Frog to rub his ball down. Frog, equipment manager.
Have we had any giveaways this week?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yesterday. Chuck, I hit one yesterday. AJ gave away money. Yeah, I hit one yesterday. JC, the barber, came in, buried some putts yesterday. It was a full thing.
AQ.
Oh!
Shit.
Hey, it was close, Chuck.
Oh, what?
Oh!
Goddamn
Say
lid
something
on that
nice.
thing?
Possible.
Put your
Kidding me?
hashtag in there.
God.
Go!
Sorry, Chuck.
Come on.
Oh, no.
$500. $10.
Chuck. For Chuck. What are they going to do, Chuck? What are they going to do, pal?
Woo!
There it
Give me
is.
2 claps and a Ric Flair.
All right, retweet this video. Say something nice to somebody. Put your cash tag in there so we can pay you officially on Cash App. And Chuck Pagano will give 10 people some merches and 10 people $500 on this Week 16 Thursday Night Football, Thursday, December 22nd. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. We appreciate you, Chuck Pagano. We'll be back on the other side of this break with AJ Hawk. We also have Vaughn Miller joining us this hour. Can't wait to chat with him for our weekly chat. What's life like as a GM for the Buffalo Bills? All that and some more storylines of the day. Be a friend, tell a friend. Take 5.
Quick as a damn cat. All right, he'll line up in a 3 technique. He'll stunt from the B gap to the A gap, or he'll just hit you on your fucking throat. Oh, you want to laugh?
No.
Run
Is
you?
that funny?
Yeah, you want to laugh, run you?
Run you because your dad's in the hall, or in the hall. You know, team's got 95. Or excuse me, 29 sacks. Right? 95's got 3.5.
Say 95 sacks.
Nah,
We
come on.
got no
Hey.
chance, Aaron. Put us.
Okay, you're
put a flat
perfect, right,
jacket.
Bach?
Yeah, I am perfect.
Until you
Coach.
start playing every snap, shut the fuck up. Sorry for my language. They love to penetrate. Penetration is key for these guys. Okay, we can't let them penetrate. All right, but when they do that, okay, and we overscoop them and we 2-hole them. You ever been 2-holed?
Oh, yeah. Penetrate two
I
holes,
try
suck
not
up.
to be. No.
Shocker. 2-holed is what?
Fucking the worst thing imaginable.
Painful.
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 Not good
I'd
for
say
anybody,
painful.
especially with
No, he's not going to end up getting 2-holed, but he gets 1-holed. It's painful. It ain't like a 55 gets to the second level. He's down. Boom, off to the races. Can't have it, guys. And the thing is the second quarter, okay, is better than the first quarter, and the third quarter is going to be better than the second quarter, and the fourth quarter is going to be way better than he just gets stronger.
Coach, you're not scared.
No, I'm just trying to open. You guys are, back there sleeping, bullshitting around. Saying, hey, we're playing at home.
Those guys
we're
are talking about.
We're at home. We're at Lambeau. Thought it was Lance playing left tackle.
I get Armstrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Bad guy, coach. I don't think we want him playing left
Oh
tackle.
yeah, and
either.
you ain't doping.
Oh, tell him, Aaron.
Nameless faceless, except for these guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because those guys are dudes, right? Well, what's so? Okay. Look. Oh, hey.
I know you're from
everything's a hee and a ha ha, AJ. Yeah, hey, we beat
sleeping.
Denver. We beat Denver. They stink.
They do.
No, we beat Denver 17-10.
They suck.
Thanks for being
Don't get complacent. What are they going to do to this guy?
Getting sucked up, coach. They
Suck him up.
They love getting sucked up.
Suck him up bad,
Suck
coach.
them up
Hey.
hard, coach.
It don't catch up until it catches up with y'all. I told you that.
That's true.
You guys want to F around?
I'm not.
Sorry, coach.
I'm taking notes, Chuck.
We just want to get
see.
sucked up, coach.
Get him sucked up. All season, coach. Those backers get sucked up like you would have.
Let me give you a little reminder. Let me give you guys a little reminder.
Make him bust.
We went up there, AJ.
Bust that play. Yes, coach.
Definitely the biggest and best game to date this particular NFL season was the Minnesota Vikings traveling up to Buffalo. Patrick Peterson putting the game away with an interception. I believe Josh Allen's like 0 for 4 in his last 4 overtime games. Not great. But here in the end, 2nd and 10, minute 15 left, down 3. Josh Allen throws a pick to Patrick Peterson going into the game. We didn't know if Josh Allen was going to be playing or not. He looked healthy to me. He looked like he was able to throw the ball. He got hurt when he was trying to punch out a terrible interception from the other team. I guess he got re-hurt, but he went back on the field. The fumble at the goal line at the very end of the game is obviously nightmare fuel forever. Chris Sims kind of apparently said that the center maybe had a bad snap. It's always interesting to see whose fault it was, because who knows? But nonetheless, in a gotta-have-it situation, the Vikings get a touchdown on the defensive side of the ball after Kirk Cousins gets stopped on a goal line stand by the Buffalo Bills, in which the Buffalo Bills defense was supposed to put a picture of it on the fucking wall in the building, where they had 2 tries from a fucking inch line and did not make it in. Instead, Vikings get a touchdown on a bobbled exchange. Shout out to A.Q. Shipley and Drew Stanton. Then Josh Allen goes right down the field. Now, Gabe Davis's catch, allegedly, Walt Anderson says, not an actual catch. We should have stopped it and reviewed it. Yeah, you should have. You're the only people that can do it in under 2 minutes. Why is that a thing? Bill Belichick's asking a question. We're all echoing the same sentiment. Can't have this happen, especially in the biggest game of the year. The Vikings and the Bills, 2 wagons playing each other. The Vikings are very new to being the team in the NFC North, but the entire country needs to recognize that they are the team in the NFC North and a problem. This can't happen. Obviously, Walt Anderson said this is an incompletion and they would have overturned it. And who knows what happens on 3rd down. Will the Bills get in? Who knows? Vikings get stopped with like 40-some seconds left at the goal line, staying there. Damn. What a win for the Bills. Yeah, 48 seconds left. What a win for the Buffalo Bills. And then a Colts game starting at the same time.
Yeah.
So I flip over to the Colts game at that time. Other TV has Red Zone on it. All of a sudden, they're back there again with the Vikings thing. I'm like, holy shit. I think the world just has to recognize that this is a new Vikings team. This is not the old Vikings team. This is a new Vikings team. And I think a lot of it revolves around Justin Jefferson is different. Everybody knows he's different. Defenses look to guard him different. 193 yards yesterday and a tud, including this 4th and 18 catch that is going to go down as a catch of the year. Even with Diggs' catch earlier in this game, Justin Jefferson taking that thing right out of Lewis's hands and then somehow keeping it off the ground there, into his stomach. 4th and 18, got to have it down for it. I mean, what a play, what a game. This dude's different, AJ. This dude is different, and it's awesome to watch. He hit a 64-yard fucking fair catch out of his own end zone right here. Okay, 14-0, end of the second quarter. He's in his own end zone, 64-yard fair catch. A lot of people said, guys shouldn't have fair caught it. Who cares? The returner put his head like this and was like, oh, I probably won't be able to return this. So he gets a fair catch. The ball has to be hit so high and so far to be fair caught. If you get a fair catch over 50 yards, it's great. If you get a 60-yard fair catch, people are like, this dude is a stud. A 64-yard fair catch is fucking demolished. He murders the ball. He has quickly climbed the ranks alongside AJ Cole of Vegas and Tommy Townsend of the Chiefs, of having, like, I think the best punting in the league right now, in the game right now. Guys that can hit balls that nobody else can hit. Camarda started out bad. I think he was rushing. I think he was worried. I think he was trying to get it off too quick. He was in his own head. He has settled in here over like the last 5 weeks. Murders the football.
Hey,
What?
let's go!
This show fucking stinks. And the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Boston
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the FanDuel Thunderdome, on this Thursday Night Football Thursday, December 22nd, 2022. Hour 2 starts right now. Football! Hit the beat drop there. First hour, I had a real wild time getting words out of my mouth because I had just seen my baby girl for the first time. My wife and I had our ultrasound, our first official ultrasound this morning. It was a measurement one and the full first one. Saw my baby's face. I talked about it earlier. It was awesome. I've already envisioned what she's going to look like as a teenager, and then in her 20s in college, and then in 30 and 40 and 50 when I'm real old. And she's going to be taking care of me. I saw all those things this morning. It was a wild roller coaster of emotions. And then we almost saw Tone break both of his legs right in front of us. Crazy. The first hour flew by with a conversation with Chuck Pagano. We can't thank him enough. He's not in studio today because of the weather that is allegedly coming tonight. Everybody be safe, by the way. This is a holiday season. This is Christmas. Let's be safe. Let's hope that the storm doesn't come that they're projecting. But let's also understand that if it doesn't come, they were trying to cancel Christmas here for a bit. It's seemingly the worst thing of all time. It is raining outside right now. This is exactly the one piece of the two-piece combo that we talked about yesterday, where if you get around somebody that's never been around snow before, and it's like, oh, let's have a snowball fight. It's like, oh, let's do it. You pack a couple soft throws, and then all of a sudden you pack two of those sons of bitches. You throw the first one up in the air, and then the eyes, oh, I'm not going to get hit, but that's funny. And then right to the jugular with one. I mean, that is a classic two-piece combo with snow. Mother Nature's doing that right now. Raining, okay? Raining, and then I'm going to throw fucking freezing cold temperatures in there. Wild. That's seemingly what this storm is. We hope everybody stays safe. Chuck wasn't able to travel out here. A lot of things are changing because of that for a lot of different families. We would like you all to have an incredible holiday, no matter what happens, what the situation is, and just deal in reality. You had no other option. The way these meteorologists are talking about this storm, you probably had to cancel your traveling anyways. No win situation if you don't, because if you get caught out there, They've been saying for a week this is going to be the worst thing of all time.
Have you seen the videos of the cars that are trapped on the highways?
That's what we're saying. That's a much worse Christmas, much worse holiday than just not being able to travel. But the warnings have been there. We hope everybody remains safe. And let's go ahead and have the greatest holiday season of all time. That was one half of the Hammer Down Cowboys, Tone Diggs. The Toxic Tables here at Boston Connor and Ty Schmidt. Joining us for this glorious hour two on December 22nd already. A man who's a college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, Ryder Cup champion, COVID survivor multiple times.
That's right.
And on this particular holiday, was a mall Santa 10 to 15 different times throughout his entire life.
Legend.
Jolly old Saint AJ Hawk.
Yeah.
How you doing, AJ?
Good. Did I miss I forget about myself being a mall Santa for 10 or 15 years?
Well, no, I heard that story. That's not true. Do you want to correct the story? We've been doing a lot of correcting of misinformation on this program the last couple of days. You want to correct that? That was a piece of misinformation. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I guess I would have to correct you. From my recollection, I've never been a mall Santa.
Huh. What?
Jeez. Who told us that? That was Urlacher, I think.
It was Urlacher.
I think Brian Urlacher told me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian wouldn't lie to us.
Anyways, appreciate you for joining us, AJ. Happy holiday season. Stay safe over there in Ohio. You guys are getting the fucking Minnesota.
Oh, yeah.
Minnesota's coming. And it's bringing hell with it, is what we've been told, basically. Coming to Indiana, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when is that what this one is?
There it is.
This one right here of ice. So right now it's raining. Let it rain. And then it's clearing it out. Okay? And then ice coming in right behind. It's supposed to everything's going to be an ice skating rink. 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Indiana for the next 76 hours or whatever. Yep. Good luck. Get your skates on. Is that coming to Ohio? Do you know?
I would assume it would come after that. I don't know. I've heard tonight or maybe tomorrow night it's supposed to be decently bad.
Joining us now is a man who lives in a very cold city, who would be very used to this type of thing. They actually had to play a home game in another stadium because of the snow being so crazy and the weather being so absurd. A man who suffered a torn ACL this year, but will bounce back in recovery, was about to have another All-Pro, Pro Bowl year, and maybe his third Super Bowl ring with his third different program. Ladies and gentlemen, future Hall of Famer Von Miller.
Yeah, boy!
Howdy, guys. Hey, thanks for having me. Hey, before we get started, though, I want to introduce my golf partner. What up, boys?
Hey, Pro Bowl Paul! Pro Bowl Paul!
Pro Bowl Paul!
Pro Bowl You made it! Hey, congratulations! Hell yeah, dude!
Hop in real quick. I had to hop in. Happy holidays, y'all boys. I appreciate y'all. All the love every time, man. Appreciate y'all.
We're proud of you. Hey, we're proud of you, man.
Woo! Love you, Jordan.
Proud of you.
That's it's dope when the good guys win, man. That's my golf partner, man. I've gotten to know him, Poe, over these couple of months that I've been here in Buffalo, man, and he deserves it, man. He works his ass off each and every day. He brings the energy each and every practice, each and every game, man. And it's a different team when we got him on the field, man. And it's good to see the good guys win. Congrats to Pope.
Yeah, I think 10-0 whenever he's playing or whatever. And I assume your stats whenever you two are on the field together at the same time are probably absolutely absurd. But, you know, he's been a friend of the show here for the last couple of years. And last year, him and Micah Hyde were like the best. Everybody was saying like, oh, this is the best safety duo in the league. Oh, yeah. Best safety duo in the league or whatever. They have a massive year. No Pro Bowlers on the defense at all. So we would obviously have to remind Poyer, like, hey, you're good, but not a Pro Bowler. Not a Pro Bowler. So him making the Pro Bowl this year, we were all incredibly pumped. I'm happy he stopped by and we got to show him some love. Let's talk to you, perennial Pro Bowler. I had an entire speech at the beginning. Thank you for joining us, by the way. I don't know if I'm going to tell you that every single time. Yeah. So perennial Pro Bowler. I had these visions of what the Pro Bowl was before I made my first Pro Bowl because I heard stories from the OGs who made the Pro Bowls of what it was like in Hawaii with the pool and how everybody gets away, and it was kind of just NFL folks celebrating like the greatness that is the NFL for a week. Families were welcome to do things, and that's back when guys were trying, skills contests were taking place. The Pro Bowl was this thing that was held in high regards. So then my first year getting voted in was the first year I think they did it the week before the Super Bowl. It was in Phoenix. They didn't even rent out the whole hotel. There was other conventions happening in there. There's a lot of other bullshit. So like my experience at the Pro Bowl was nothing like what I had heard stories of the OGs before. And I felt like it was a financial decision by the NFL to do that, but I thought it diminished the Pro Bowl. Now, Pro Bowlers get announced last night, Vaughn. A majority of people on the internet and probably you can treat Twitter as a focus group. A majority of people are like, the Pro Bowl sucks. The game sucks. It's kind of a sham. And it's almost diminished the title of Pro Bowler. Do you feel that? Do you think that? And how do you feel about the Pro Bowl as a whole, Vaughn?
You know, I've been 8 Pro Bowls, and I think the most valuable thing that I take away from the Pro Bowl is not necessarily, you know, the event or like spending time by the pool or, you know, the game or anything like that. I think getting voted by your peers.
Hell yeah.
I'm getting voted by the guys that you play against each and every week. Getting voted by the fans that watch you each and every week, and getting voted by the coaches. You know, it's an extremely valuable honor that I hold close to my heart, man. You know, to go to 8 Pro Bowls and then you get up there in 8 and it's like, man, it's just the Pro Bowl, and then not getting elected these last couple of years. You know, I'm here to tell you guys that, you know, when you get voted by your peers and you get voted by the fans and you get voted by the coaches, man, it is a huge accomplishment.
I think so, too. For me, when I got voted in, like, the emotions that I had, there was so many emotions the first time I got voted in. You feel vindication. You feel pride. You feel, like, humbled by all the work that it took to get there. And it's like, well, if I'm putting this much emotion into getting voted in, then I have to take it when I don't get voted in. You almost get like scared to put too much power into it, but you can't help it whenever you get acknowledged by your peers, I think. In the way the NFL, no offense to the NFL, what the NFL has allowed the Pro Bowl to become, kind of like a sham where guys don't try because it's not really something. Why would you? The game has become an embarrassment, even though it outrates everything else on TV. I think if they lift up the profile of the Pro Bowl, invest a little bit in it, I think we can get it back to the stature that players hold it in the public. You know what I mean? Because like last night, you're seeing guys cry. Oh, yeah. Those guys cry that are getting voted in there, and then on the internet, it's like, the voting system's flawed. The game sucks. It's like, this is a massive deal, and I think it's kind of going away from that, so I hope we fix it, Vaughn. And congrats on fucking 8 of them.
Unbelievable.
Jeez Louise. I don't know. Once again, though, you kind of stink. You're not getting voted in there. Yeah. Kind of stink. Hope you get back. Use that in your rehab motivation. Sorry about that, AJ. Just wanted to put a bow on that thing. Go ahead, Mr. Hawk.
Oh, no, I want to follow up with Vaughn quick. Like I've said before on here, Pat, you can't play football like half-assed. It's not baseball. It's not basketball. You have an all-star game in basketball. You can have 180 to 175 game and no defense. Football, it's kind of all or nothing. Is there anything they can do about that, Vaughn? Like, how do they make it better?
I just think it's just hard to get guys to go all out for, an all-star game, especially, if you're not, if it's the season's over with, I understand it. But me personally, guys hate going against me in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, you're trying to get that truck.
They know I'm going full speed, and I play that game just like any other game. I go through my pregame routine just like any other game. And whenever you're getting around your opponents, you always gonna play to the same level of the opponents that you're going against in the Pro Bowl. But guys hate going against me. Alex Bakhtiari, he had beef with me for a whole. He had beef with me for a whole off season, and when we played him in the preseason, like he was still mad about the Pro Bowl.
Oh, Bach didn't want to go.
Because he played on the right side. He had played on the right side. He's a left tackle. He was playing at right tackle in the Pro Bowl in Orlando, and I was just going. That's my natural side, so I was just going ham, full speed. He was talking to me in the game like, "Hey, bro, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Bro, I go hard."
There's that truck for sale, right? You see that truck? The MVP is getting that truck right there.
And we came back in, man. Like he kind of held it on his chest a little bit, but I love the Pro Bowl. I love being around my peers. I like being in the locker room with the guys. I like just hanging out and getting to know everybody else's family, man. And I think getting voted by your peers, hanging out, that's the most important part of it.
I think so too. Those meetings, and the one in Phoenix, we were on a bus and we drove out into the desert for the practice, and that was really the only time where guys felt comfortable talking because the lobby was filled with like 4 other conferences and conventions and autograph hounds happening. And I'd heard that was the best part, like the social gathering when everybody's just kind of letting loose, having some drinks. You can walk up to somebody and ask them a question, and it's like welcomed and celebrated. We got to get back to that, NFL.
Here we go.
It's so many things that you have to weigh too. Like if we have it in Hawaii, you fly guys all the way out to Hawaii. And then, the majority of the guys that's going to Hawaii are going to whatever Super Bowl that they're playing in the day after the game. So do you want to travel all the way to Hawaii, then come back to the States to go to the Super Bowl? Do you have it in Orlando? Like, do you do it in Phoenix? Do you do it in the same city where the Super Bowl is? Like, it's still a balancing act that you have to do. But I think, the Pro Bowl is great. I think we should always have the Pro Bowl. It's an all-star game. That's what all-star games look like. If you look at any all-star game, that's what they look like, especially in our sport. Our sport is a physical sport. So once you take a little bit off for the all-star game, that's just the product. But I don't think that's the most important part of the Pro Bowl. I think guys just hanging out with each other. I think getting voted by your peers. I think spending time with each other's family and getting to know other guys that you admire. Those are some of the best parts about the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I concur, and obviously congratulations. And the Pro Bowl's taking a turn. I think they're entering their new chapter right now, going to flag football. I think we could put some money up for guys too, match it to charity as well. Let's put actual money up, There's enough sponsors and money out there. Let's get guys to want to give effort, Let's go ahead and do some stuff. Let's make the world a better place. Let's donate it. Let's also,
incentivize.
You're the best in the world. You've made us a lot of money this year. We're looking for you to do this other thing. So just like any other business, you're doing something. We will pay you for it because we're making it just
up some money. If you up the money, like if you up the money at the Pro Bowl, I think guys will start to play a lot harder for sure. I think if you're giving guys a real carrot out in front of them, man, I think you'll get some of these guys to make some great plays, a lot of great effort.
Well, I think so too. And in the fastest man competition, I think you're going to get more people try to get in there. If there's an actual prize there, I think if you do even the bench press thing, I think you're even get some of the big dudes that are like, they're giving $150,000 to the. I used to move it. I still got it. Like I think then it gets even. I think you just get better content out of all of it if there's an incentive. But once again, let's match it to charity because all these millionaire pricks don't need to get paid more money. Let's also match to charity as well on top of it. So we're making the world a better place. I hope we get there. I think we will. And thank you for saying that you're Von Miller. Your words are going to carry more weight than mine. Let's move on. How's your life with the Bills right now? You said last week, I think, it felt like a standard Wednesday. Woke up, did this, went to a meeting, watched your film, did your whole thing. This week, you do anything different with Bean? You in his back pocket? You actually shadowing him, or you still player coach Von Miller right now?
No, I haven't got no time yet. I've been they mutt me here at the training staff. I get here at 9 a.m. and I'm leaving at 4 in the afternoon to straight rehab. Man, I mean that's where I want it, man. I want to put all the work in. I enjoy my teammates coming in and they see me and they're like, man, you're already walking, or you're already doing this, or you're already doing that, and it just gives me an opportunity to show my teammates how hard I work. And there's my guy right there, man. Show my guys how hard I work, man, and show what I'm all about, man. So that's it's two folds of everything, man. I just enjoy being up here with the guys, man. I enjoy being in the mix. I enjoy hearing guys' conversation and say, hey, man, be positive. Hey, man, let's think about this, the trophy, this and that. Like, so I enjoy being up here. I enjoy my role for sure.
Is there anything you're doing now? I guess, like, can you track how far ahead you are this surgery compared to last time you had this done? Like, how did they – I know throughout your rehab there's always, like, goals and milestones you have to hit. Yeah. Do you bump those up, or how does your whole timeline work?
No matter how good you're feeling, there's still a biological element of rehab. Like, no matter what you do, no matter how strong you are, no matter how good you're walking.
That was awesome.
Just this is the time. This is how fast that humans heal. This is how fast that this surgery heals. Like, no matter who you are, this is where you are at. Of course, it could look like this, it could look like that. You could be strong here, you could be strong in this part of your rehab, but it's just a weekly thing, and I'm just chipping off at it week by week.
Biologically, you shouldn't have been walking 3 days after your ACL and then renting out a sports bar for 12 hours. So
mentally, I don't want to get guys revved up or anything like that. Like I'm out, but mentally, I'm feeling like, bro, like a couple of more weeks, like I could be close, like playoffs, AFC Championship, I can make it. But
hell yeah.
I don't want to get Bills Mafia revved up and ready to go.
Yeah, biologically, a little different conversation.
That's how my knee feels. Yeah. That's how everything feels when I'm walking in here.
I mean, could you imagine? Greener Pastures Chicken Farms owner, 8-time Pro Bowler. Von Miller tears his ACL at 55% of the way through a season, right? What week was it?
Thanksgiving, yep.
So what is that, week?
Week 11?
12,
yeah.
Week 12?
11, 12.
Could you imagine he comes back and plays in the playoffs same year? Gets
crazy.
a sack.
Come on. That'd be wild.
That'd be crazy. Hey, Vaughn, that'd be crazy. 9-4?
That'd be insane.
9-4, we're rehabbing? Tell the biological department to fucking figure it out. Mentally, it sounds like it could take place. Let's talk about some things going on around the NFL, and we'll continue to chatter about the Bills because this actually leads to it. There's been a lot of interactions between players and media members that have been getting spotlighted. Coaches, I guess, and media members getting spotlighted because we're at that time of year where there's a lot of pressure in a lot of places. There's a lot of disappointment being had by in a lot of places. And also, it's been Groundhog's Day for a long time for a lot of people that are covering the NFL and in the NFL. So I think sometimes tensions can be high. How have you maintained or managed to have a super positive relationship with the media whenever situations are happening right now that I assume have been happening for a long time? We're just seeing it more often. Giovanni Bernard, what was said to him, and both reporters have come out and said, in a moment, we didn't act right. Both Greg Allman and Jenna Lane from ESPN, they both said, we apologize for in a moment, which very big of them. We appreciate that. That is awesome. Paul Kuharsky telling Vrabel down there at Tennessee Titans when Vrabel was at his press conference after they've lost a couple in a row, one real bad, this past one, whatever. He goes, you've been preaching, Paul Kuharsky, you've been preaching like can't get yourself in trouble and hurt yourself, and then first down to get a personal foul at 2nd and 22. You guys are basically done for since then. Your message isn't getting through to guys anymore, so do you have any comment? And Vrabel was like, I'm going to give a short answer to a incredibly long, terrible question or something like that. Like he took a shot back, and it was a moment that both of them, I assume, will move past and do it, but it just happens in the heat of the moment. Then Josh Allen, actually, one of the reporters asked Josh Allen about the offense. Josh, I think, gave an answer. Then the reporter goes, your offense isn't good enough to win a Super Bowl. To Josh Allen's face. Josh is sitting there, and Josh goes, okay, and then goes to the next person. It's like all of those moments obviously are being spotlighted because the media and the NFL are so important together. But how have you maintained such a positive relationship with everybody? Or has there been times where you look at somebody and you're like, in the moment, not full time, but in the moment, it's like you're out of pocket right there with your tone and your question. Has that ever happened for you?
I think, at this point in my career, I just, I understand both perspectives. About having a podcast and, doing shows like, this show right here and being on the media side of it and being an athlete at the same time, I understand both perspectives. At the same time, from, the media talking to, an athlete, you got to understand that these are like, people. And I understand if I'm working with the media, I have a job, and I have to give content week in and week out. And, that could get, kind of, tedious. I understand that. But at the same time, you always have to be aware of your delivery and, how am I talking to these guys? Because, guys are not robots at the end of the day. Like, we're humans. I know we put on helmets and, we go out here and we do what we do each and every week. But at the same time, like we're humans. Like we're not robots. So you always got to make sure that you deliver in the right way, in the correct way. And if I'm an athlete too, I understand that this is a business and the fans need a perspective from the media as well. So I always just try to have an open line of communication with with media whenever I'm talking to them. I don't want to get up there and it just kills me whenever I see somebody talking like a post game, like if they lost or something, and they just snapping at the media and the media is snapping back, because at the end of the day, I'm the athlete and I'm in control of whatever we talk about. You can ask me, hey, what happened in the game? You threw an interception, and I could be like, man, my favorite color is blue. Like I really do like the way my clothes came up today, and I put the blue shoes on, and I'm in control of whatever I put out. Even though whatever question it is, I think as the athlete, you got to understand that you are in control of whatever you put out. Yeah, they're gonna ask you questions, this and that, but I'm in control at the end of the day. And at the same time, I want to give great perspective. I want to put out exactly what's going on for my fans, my true fans that are looking for any type of response from me. I want to give them what they want as well too. So I see it on both sides of it. The media, you got to understand that the guys that we're talking to, like, they're not robots.
Biological.
And from the athlete perspective, you got to know that the media, they have a job too. This is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it's fed by the fans. It's fed by the fans, and the fans need information. So it goes two ways, but the athlete is always in control in all of those situations. Athlete or coach is always in control.
Yeah, and they're right about avoiding questions. He was asked 3 times about the interception. He continued to tell us the shirt he was wearing was red. We know. So obviously he didn't want to talk about it, but that's a lot better than snapping out and saying he lost his composure and how it could be received. We have the same exact take as you. It's like both need each other, okay? NFL needs media. Media needs the NFL. A lot of different networks have proven that to be the case for a long time. A lot of us make a living off of covering the NFL, so certainly need.
Hey, Pat, my bad, Pat. At the end of the day, like for an athlete, what do they always say in the locker room? They say, do your job. Do your job to the highest level that you could possibly do it. Do your 111. And I think that applies for the media as well. Like, do your job. Do your job at a high level. Like the questions that you come up with, you got to be thinking about these questions. You got to be able to ask great questions, not just one-liner questions to try to poke at a coach or an athlete to try to get some type of reaction. You got to. What makes a great reporter, a great analyst, like you're asking questions that you can get, positive feedback or whatever feedback from whoever you're talking to. But I'm not just looking for headliner. I'm not looking for that. Even though that stuff goes viral and all of that stuff.
Vaughn.
If it goes viral, it goes viral. But on the media side of it, do your job, just like the athletes have to do their job. If everybody does their job at a high level, we'll be fine.
We're going to continue to go, which is fantastic. And I think the good question asking and everything like that, getting a different angle from something is good for the entire sports media landscape and the sport as a whole. And we assume that people are going to have bad days every once in a while. Once again, everybody's human. Let's just remember it as we go into the last 3 weeks of this NFL season. Like, hey, we're all in this thing together, okay? Right? And what you say on a podcast, as an opinion pundit, you're allowed to say. You're certainly allowed to say.
Yep.
But to look at Josh Allen, who is 400x the football player you are, okay, and accomplished a lot more than you ever have in the sport of football, and has become the prototype. Maybe just hold back the shit talk. After at a press conference, like if Josh was to come onto this show or onto your podcast or something, I think there's different time and different place for everything. But if Josh was to come on this show and Connor didn't think that the offense was good enough to win a Super Bowl, Connor would frame that in his question, and it's a podcast, so Josh could answer however he wanted, or it's a show however he wanted. I just think like a press conference is in the locker room. I think there's just different forms of interactions that should take place. And I feel like everybody's kind of trying to mix them all together. And I understand that because we have the dumbest job of all time. But you have a great benefit getting credentialed and getting access to these things that we can't get. So when you're in there, let's get those things. And then when you come out, we can't wait to hear your thoughts on it all. There's just no reason to be disrespectful to people's faces. Just a reminder, biological exists, both sides, both parties. Connor, your question for Von Miller.
Yeah, I would never be able to say about the Bills offense because I watch the Patriots every week, so that wouldn't make any sense. But also,
and what was that reporter? We should know who that reporter is after watching that offense, thinking that they can't win a Super Bowl. That maybe should be something. And Paul Kuharski also with paulkuharski.com. No longer, I just got a...
Not without kick
not without kick anymore. paulkuharski.com. Him and Reaves had... this could be a short answer for an incredibly terrible question. Something, whatever that was. Paul Kuharski. paulkuharski.com. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Connor.
Oh, good. Vaughn, if we're talking chicken here, obviously there's a cold front coming up north, but they're saying Texas might get kind of cold. Do you have an emergency for all your chicken children on your ranch down there, and is there some sort of plan that you have when the weather does turn?
You know, my chickens live well. I told you they only have one bad day. They got AC in there. They got heating in there. Of course, you know, some birds are going to be compromised. You're going to lose some birds. That's just how it is, you know, in nature. But you know, when it was a snowstorm, it was a cold front that came through. I think 2 years ago, like where it shut down like most of the state of Texas. Like we only lost a few birds during that whole time. So super confident in our operation. Super confident in the way we do things. And you know, whenever nature is involved, you're gonna lose some birds, but we'll be all right.
Yeah, you just got to get yours more than you get got, though.
That's right.
Yeah. Sean Lynch talking about chickens and Mother Nature there. How about you being in the yard bird business? You are. You're in the full yard bird business.
Man, it's crazy whenever I think about it. It started off by taking an easy class in college, you know, to help out my GPA. And, you know, I took the class, and it was definitely easier. I used to fall asleep in the class. My professor used to come in there and like wake me up and like make me stand up and like and just regurgitate whatever we was talking about. And in turn, I learned the business, and you know, 12 years later, I got my own chicken farm.
Did they just get to try your chicken for the first time back there? I just heard quite a pop.
No, that's Josh Allen giving gifts out.
To the offensive lineman.
Yeah, he already gave the stuff out to the offensive line. This is a new gift. He coming with gifts every day. Like the offensive lineman got scooters yesterday, and this is something new with a bow on it. And the guy's going crazy.
Hey, Josh, pretty good guy, huh? Pretty good.
Oh, it's a ski shoot. It's a ski shoot. That's awesome. Like a little ski shoot thing, and he can use it for his dog too. And
Sweet.
What a gift!
He's the man,
Shoot in
huh?
there. Shoot in the indoor. Anyone bring their shotgun?
What?
I think you can use it for like. You can use it for dog toys, and you can use it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Dog toys.
Skeet shoot?
Oh, the throwing thing?
Train him to get ducks. Train him to get
throws
ducks.
the disc.
Are you talking about the disc tosser?
Yep, it's a disc tosser. It's like ski shooter, and it can shoot out dog toys too.
Is it a throwing one or a robot one?
You probably press it with your foot.
It looks like just a robot one. It's got an arm. That just,
Man,
that's sweet.
It's got wheels on the side. It's got wheels on the side, so you can just wheel it out.
Dude,
Josh Allen, man.
I've been out in the middle of some cornfields in the handheld one.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I can really throw a good bird out there with those handheld ones. I couldn't even imagine showing up at some redneck fuck's farm where they got an actual boom that Josh Allen just gave them. What a highlight that would be. There'd be obviously no beers drank before
of course not.
shooting that out in the middle of these cornfields.
Josh's dog. He got like a retriever, and it's like Scholar. His dog is like, she's super athletic, and you know, when you go over to the house, she's wanting people to play with him every now. She wants people to play with him the whole time. So I guess he got this for her. So it's super cool.
That's right. Congrats to you guys doing it right over there.
Yeah, good organization.
Jeez Louise. What did you get? Gifts? Did you buy everybody Rolexes? Did you buy?
No, I didn't, man. You know, I'm not a big Christmas guy. Like, I just, you know, I feel like I should just be spending time with the family. I don't like to, because you know, sometimes you start giving gifts, and then next year they want a better gift. And they compare this gift to that
You forget somebody? Yeah. Oh.
I show love to my teammates year round, year round. I spend so much money on these guys. It's not even funny. Like, from private parties to private dinners to whatever. Like, I spend so much money on these guys, man. They not worried about.
They understand that, and in the card, you know, just Merry Christmas. Hope it's a great one. Remember, you saw the rookie dinner that was fake for the Niners. Mm-hmm. That was real a couple weeks ago, and we had that. Remember that? Remember did this?
They said 300,000. Eric Armstead came out and said it wasn't real.
Yeah, if you look at the receipt, it was like a $200,000 tip, and I was like, first thing looking at it, me and Matt Leinart had the same response. It's like, damn, that's fucked up doing a $200,000 tip. It's like, hey, waiter and staff here, we think you should have this guy's money more than this guy, and that's a lot. But then you look up a little bit, it's like $7,600 basically is the actual price. Then they put the fake one at the bottom to kind of give Drake Jackson a little bit of a scare, and the internet was certainly losing their mind. So $7,600, and Eric said he paid $1,000, somebody else paid $1,000, so $56,000. I don't think that's bad at all. Third rounder, I think. Third rounder, second rounder.
That's not bad. If it was $300,000, that's ridiculous. I would never let that happen. I would never let that happen if I was there. That's ridiculous. I'm trying to save these guys as much money as they possibly can. That's ridiculous. But if we are going to spend $300,000, there's better ways to spend $300,000.
We're not tipping $200,000.
Let's take a trip somewhere. Let's go to Vegas and do something, man. There's better ways to do it.
Yeah, we should tip. Listen, should tip, but tip should not be 3x what everything else.
Night out with Vince Young at the Cheesecake Factory.
That's true. Hey, that was a great restaurant there for a long time. Vince loved it. How could you not? So does AJ. Tony, your question for Vaughn.
Vaughn, not a huge Christmas guy, you said, but how was Twitchmas? How did Twitchmas go for you?
Twitchmas was amazing. I think we had over 100,000 viewers come in. At one time, we had about 5,000. We averaged about 5,000 viewers the whole time, but we had over
let's go.
Viewers come in. I gave out over $100,000 worth of gifts and cash prizes. Cash App came and dropped $25,000 just in the chat to random hashtag. I gave away 3 gaming computers.
We need to open
I really gave away 4 gaming computers, jerseys, all type of stuff, man. It was great, man. It was, just a great way for me to give back to my fans, man, and I'm glad everybody appreciates it.
Yeah, we do. We appreciate any time anybody gives back anything because you don't have to, and there's a lot of people in our spheres, you're in a different sphere than I am, obviously, that are telling you, like, this is how you keep your money, okay? Fuck everybody. Like there's all those speeches in classes about how you maintain. Don't become one of the 80% that go broke or whatever. You know those friends that you've had for a long time that have done everything for you? Don't give them a fucking dollar, okay? This is literally what some like financial. Your parents, like, let's put them on a reasonable amount of money because if not, they're just going to drain you dry. And everybody else, those foundations that you worked with or whatever, they'll continue to raise money. This money now we got to preserve for your future and your future. It's like, okay, I understand you maybe woke up just with zero soul. That is going to be tough for me to do. So anytime somebody gives back and chooses to give back, I'm always incredibly, inspired and impressed because there's a lot of people in your world telling you not to. So over $100,000, that's fucking very nice of you.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cash App, too.
Shout out to Cash App.
Ty, your question for Vaughn Miller.
Yeah, LA Golf, too. LA Golf gave us 3 putters. They got the LA Golf putter.
LA Golf? What the fuck's an LA Golf? What is an LA Golf?
Ever heard of LA Golf? LA Golf, they started out making shafts. Now they make a putter as well. They gave away 3. They gave away 3 putters in the chat. That's the putter that I use. That's the driver that I use. So shout out LA Golf.
LA Golf, shout out.
Okay.
LAG.
Best shafts in the business, I heard.
Hey, they got good shafts, Vaughn. This is good shafts.
Yeah. I think it's the stiffest and the lightest and the best. Yeah.
Okay, good shafts out there from LA Golf. Last question here for you, Vaughn. We can't thank you enough for joining us. Go ahead, Ty.
Vaughn, last week I know you said with your knee and everything, you didn't really want to be on the sideline during the Dolphins game because you didn't want to slip or have any issues there. But I mean, you're healing at a superhuman rate. Have you thought, and I know you said Christmas, hey, I want to spend it with my family. Have you thought, what, maybe I'd rather spend my Christmas this year going to Chicago and standing on the sideline in 1.5 feet of snow with below 0 temperatures? Is that something you're maybe considering? Or are we going to see you on the sideline this weekend or no?
There's like nope. I have not thought about it at all. Even if it was sunny and bright, like I just feel like, at this point, even though I'm feeling good, I think it's just a safe bet for me to just, chill at home. I'm feeling good and I'm in a great point and I want to continue to stay there. So, it's all type of things that I can't control in a football game, sitting on the sideline. And I just, try to avoid it. Even getting on the plane and traveling from, swelling and all that stuff. I'm in a good point. I'm in a good place, mentally and physically. I think I just need to stay right here until I can get to a point where I can stay on the sideline with confidence.
We hope you get healthy quick. We can't wait to see the story of you bouncing back. I think we heard Josh there in the background. Can you show him real quick just so we can put him in the title?
Josh?
Yeah.
Josh Allen. That's Josh Allen right here. He's talking to Tori LaRulo.
Hey! Oh, baby!
Josh Allen. he's taking care of business right now. But there he is.
Big pop.
He's a good man, just like you. You're probably going to go talk to that group immediately upon getting up, which is right now. We can't thank you enough, ladies and gentlemen. Future Hall of Famer, founder of Greener Pastures Chicken Farms down there in Texas, Von Miller. Thank you, buddy. So we just put Josh Allen was on the show.
Yep. Bingo.
Josh Allen.
Big day. Jordan
Blair
Poyer,
as well.
Josh
Yeah,
Allen,
2 Pro
Von
Bowlers.
Miller. Big day.
Holy shit. Whew.
Good take there on the media-player relationship.
Yeah.
You know,
I'd
'cause
ask too.
Yeah.
It's a very mature answer.
Mature.
Yeah,
Yes.
very mature
Vet.
answer. Yeah. Been around. Has heard the spiel in training camp numerous times, and then also has experienced it numerous times. So he understands, like, hey, we need each other. But there are some moments, in the middle of a season where people forget that we're all in this together.
Yeah.
We're all humans. We all have jobs. Let's nip that in the bud. Let's have a great holiday season.
Need someone to come out and do my favorite color is blue, because that would be awesome.
The good answer there, but if you do that, the media's calling you an asshole.
Well, yeah, and I wanted to say, like, hey, they will certainly, right? Like, because that was one of the things every training camp, we get a media video, and they talk about the media and the player relationship. It's like a 10-minute video, probably. Is that how long it is?
They show some highlights and lowlights. Yes.
Yeah, it's like and they talk about the importance of both sides and what they're being told and what you guys should be told. It's a full thing. The whole you control the answer is always in there.
Hammer it.
And I think it doesn't do the follow-up, like, they will bury you for that answer, but it's worse. It's better than you potentially telling somebody to go fuck off in the middle of nowhere. So it's up to you. That is good technique. I appreciate Vaughn, man. He's been really good on this show.
Oh, yeah.
AJ.
He's everything he says. Like, it's crazy that a vet that's as good as him, for sure, first ballot Hall of Famer, has like the mindset and such a team guy. It's cool to see.
And he just sits down on our show every single week. It's bananas.
Hanging out.
The show's the dumbest.
Gave away $100,000 on Twitch. Yeah. And a bunch of
LA golf, man.
That's
you better get one of those putters now, Pat.
Yeah, cash out.
Shaft
Yeah, you
like
got your
that?
butter.
How can you not?
Hey, Bruce Bronovich.
No,
we
we need
got another round of conversations
Stiffest
happening.
shafts in the business.
Well, LA Golf, we certainly need to call the stiffest shafts and the lightest shafts in town.
Yeah.
Okay, we would certainly give a call, and anything to make me putt better and drive better, I'm with. And it sounds like that's what LAG is all about. Okay, so we're going to look into that. Bruce Bronovich, has Cash App ever just dropped into one of our giveaways and said, you know what, let us take this one? Has that ever happened?
I don't know if they can drop into the YouTube chat,
What do you mean?
Oh, so
but we've talked to them about giving away some of their money before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they just signed up to do it over there. Hey, we got another round of conversations, I think, with them coming up.
Is that
We should
right?
take note, Bruce Bronovich. Let's
Yep.
make sure. Let's
Consider
make sure
it.
we are reminded of that before.
That's horseshit.
Thank you, Bronovich.
Cash App's been very good to us.
Yeah, great people.
We got to get to the bottom of those candles.
Yeah, they sent us a gift.
Literally and figuratively.
Cash App has been quite a convenient deal with us.
Oh, yeah.
Made Phil and Bruce's life infinitely better. And also just directs everybody to one place so we don't have to worry about PayPal, Venmo,
Yeah, simple.
the whole thing.
Great app.
And it is a great fucking app.
Oh, yeah.
I now use it full time because of us adding it into our rotation. It is so nice just to fucking.
I've used that store.
Have you? I have not.
Yeah, I have. It's very
Really?
cool. Yeah.
What are you buying?
2022.
What do you mean?
Holy shit.
It's my personal business, but it is a very convenient.
What was it?
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it could
What
be
could it
anything.
be?
What type of store did you? Well, we need to
Paul?
know what type of store it was. Was it like a pharmacy? Was it a
It
store?
wasn't a pharmacy. It was like at the mall.
Sex
Wow. So
Yeah.
Lion's Den.
What's that?
Was it
That,
Lions
that is
Den?
a sex shop.
That's on the side of a highway.
store.
Yeah.
Double-sided dildo.
It's a suck shop.
It's a suck shop.
It is a suck
No,
shop.
those aren't.
sucks.
Those are all over. Those are all over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, side of highways, definitely though.
For sure.
Great
Yeah.
billboards.
Always.
All over, a lot of highways, side of them all the time.
Great back rooms.
Hey, trucker coming through town. Come on in.
say?
There's some Lion Den's members out there that
yeah.
just stop at everyone, every 40 miles or so, looking for some
eggs.
lot lizards, hopefully.
They have the best suck
Is that where you were at?
No, I wasn't at the Lions.
viewing
Den.
rooms.
I wish.
You've been to it? You've been inside of one?
I like to dabble.
I don't know if
Would you say viewing room?
I've never been inside of one. I've only driven
No,
by it.
yeah.
I
The
just-
viewing rooms? No,
See
it's
the
nice.
billboard.
Literally, as I'm driving by, I look at the place. I see like 2 cars parked there, and then I just start piecing together stories about the people that are in
Yeah,
there.
I hope that guy works there.
And then I drive. No, not even that. I mean, of course, you could start with hoping that it's just the employee. But then once you start thinking about who's going in there, when they're going in there, what just happened in their lives, you can kind of get to the next lion's den, like 30 miles down the road on the other side of the highway and be like, "Well, this one appears to be popping.
There's
Must
always
have a better selection of armadillos here than the last place."
There's always a need Jesus billboard before or after. Always
Yep.
after a lion's den.
Yeah, I feel like God puts it on somebody's heart to try to correct the world of the lion's den sin, and I do appreciate that.
But two married consenting adults can have as many armadillos as they want.
Agreed?
Yeah. What do you?
So what's the problem?
Yeah, we weren't going to make you throw out your bedside
Nothing, dude.
table, dude.
What are you talking
Well,
about?
it is funny that they are still so prevalent in the age of the internet.
People were
You could get
Groupon
whatever
and
you want.
dongs there for a while. Remember, Groupon just became a
Yeah.
dong show.
That's just a sex shop now.
Wait, what?
Groupon
You big
just
on Groupon?
No, I'm not. But this was a story
Used to be.
since our show
Groupon
has happened. There was an era where Groupon came in and took over, and were just, completely undercutting businesses everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're going to take a 75% discount to put it on Groupon here. You're lucky. We have all these people that will be able to see it. You'll get more interest, and then the next time they come back, return customer will be good. That was the Groupon motto. And I didn't use Groupon. I appreciated it though, because there was people that were. What are those things called? Not Groupon. Not receipts. Little coupon.
Coupon books?
There's couponers. Remember, at one point there was
yeah.
the big time group coupons that were like reality TV.
Yeah.
People were paying like 2 cents for $10,000 worth of groceries because they were playing the coupon game. So then Groupon kind of came in on the heels of that. It was like big savings, big savings, big savings. So I didn't keep up with it. And then one time out of nowhere, I think I ended up back on an email list or something. And it was just 4 double dongs that I could get off of Groupon
Good Lord.
directly to the house. I'm like, shout out to Groupon.
Yeah.
And then we did a whole deep dive, and it was like, yeah, that's what it is now. You just buy anything you want to get your rocks off on Groupon.
Jesus.
They are now the hub, basically. on the
Makes
internet.
great stocking stuffers.
The Groupon does? The
Yeah,
dongs?
That's not all it's stuffing.
Hey-oh! All right, let's get to a break, and then this next hour, let's cover all the news, okay? Let's talk about everything happening. Let's give our predictions for the game, and then let's all try to get back to our houses.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
This fucking, hey, from Mother Nature, supposed to be a problem.
It's coming.
You guys better bunk. You better hunker down. You better worry right now.
AJ.
Might
AJ,
say
you
that.
giving merches?
Yeah, we'll give 10 merches.
Hell yeah.
That shit-eating grin on his
Bang
face.
rain. Oh, it's coming back.
Oh, Java.
Hey, beer pong.
Don't look at me, Ty. Ty, how many push-ups can you do?
15, maybe.
I think you can do 25.
10 merches?
10 merches, no question. You're going to make this one, though.
If he does 16?
If he does 16, I'll give 12 merches.
Oh shit.
All right, Ty. I don't want to make you like dance puppet, but
I don't
12
want his
merches.
I don't want his insides to explode if he does it, though. I don't want to be
had Chick-fil-A earlier, and my farts have been
potent.
He
Does everything
exploded.
just make you completely dump all the time?
Everything he
Yes.
chooses to eat. I do believe there's been numerous times where Ty has come in and a new doctor or new specialist has told him, can't eat this stuff.
Sorry.
And then Ty stays committed to it. And then all of a sudden, a couple weeks pass, and all of a sudden, that doctor, what they said, means nothing. Uno,
Cross. Do the leg cross.
dos, tres, uno,
Come on, Ty.
4,
Man,
5,
those are perfect.
Great
Good
form.
form.
Six.
Great form.
God
flat
damn
back,
right.
7. He looks amazing
Jeez.
from this side.
His
8,
core
let's
strength
go.
is off the charts.
9, let's go. Come on,
almost there.
power him out. You
7
know,
more.
it doesn't have to be as
7
perfect.
more.
It doesn't have to be as perfect.
Here we go.
Nice.
One.
That counts.
More than I would have
2,
2,
Now uncross your legs. Give you
3,
some more
3,
bounce.
4.
4.
You need 3 more. 5. Let's go.
on,
Let's go.
2
Let's
more,
go. 2
come on.
more. Come on. Come on, Private. Come on. 12 merches from AJ Hawk because Ty is a physical specimen. 16 push-ups, right here on this stage,
Hell yeah.
on this day, in this holiday season. 12 merches from AJ Hawk. All you got to do is retweet this video, say something nice to somebody because it's the holiday season and the world we live in. You should say more nice stuff to people.
Yes.
And put your cash tag in that same tweet so we can pay you efficiently through Cash App. Atta baby, Ty.
Yeah.
Man.
Looked like Stanley in the office.
That was awesome.
Seriously, I haven't done a push-up in maybe 10 years.
Now you did 16 and you look
right.
fucking good.
Great.
Oh,
You
yeah.
might be sore.
So
You might be
sore.
sore.
You're gonna
Oh,
be
I'm
sore for
sore
sure.
already.
That's amazing. Good for a holiday. Go
Yeah,
pump.
that's right.
Yeah.
Got your workout in before the.
All right, be a friend, tell a friend. We're back in 5. Take 5.
5.
Just reading this headline here that is written on this piece of paper by Boston Connor this morning. Lou Holtz sent Brian Kelly several letters over his Notre Dame tenure to no response. This must have slipped through the cracks in the group text. Sports Illustrated is reporting, while talking to reporters this past week, Lou Holtz shared that while Brian Kelly was at the helm, he wrote him several letters over his tenure as coach. Unfortunately, Holtz said he never got a response. So, obviously we got to go.
Well. Looks like I wasn't fibbing when I said that Brian Kelly was a big old piece of shit. He writes this guy letters and try to tell him, hey, this is exactly what you need to do if you want to be a successful coach at Notre Dame. Okay, he didn't fucking respond to me once. You know how long it takes me to write these goddamn handwritten letters? I'm not typing them on a Macintosh. I'm not typing them on the Dell. I'm dipping my ink in the quill, and I'm writing these handwritten letters. And what does he do? He says, hey, you know what, Lou? I won't write you a letter, but I'll send some kid into a cherry picker with 85-mile-an-hour winds, and I'll kill him. And then guess what? I still won't write you a letter back. He can apologize, but it doesn't matter because Notre Dame's in the right spot. We got Marcus Freeman with 17-point underdogs at Ohio State. And I wouldn't be surprised if Brian Kelly gets run out of LSU because before too long, the boosters down there are going to find out what I found out. And that's that he's a big old steaming bag of shit.
Coach, isn't it a chance that you with those handwritten letters that he never got them? He was just checking his email?
No, you kidding me? If I fucking write a letter, it's getting on the head coach's desk, okay? You think Charlie Weiss ever got my handwritten letters or Tyrone Willingham? Those guys always wrote back to me. Always.
Oh, shit. Probably just put bacon in those letters.
Thank you, Coach.
That's your buddy Brady Quinn, okay? He knows I wrote a letter before every single Notre Dame home game. Had it in his locker.
What did you say about the game where you're taking on your future brother-in-law, AJ Hawk?
Well, I said, good luck, Brady. Hopefully you play like a guy like Carlisle Holiday. I'm sure you remember him. He was a great quarterback at Notre Dame, led them to a lot of success. Of course, you know, Brady, unfortunately, they had good seasons, and they got their asses beaten every single big post-game bowl. And we all remember the LSU Sugar Bowl where Marcus Russell, or whatever the hell his name was, he threw it all over the football field. And then AJ and the Ohio State Buckeyes beat the shit out of Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl.
Did you see the documentary about Manti Te'o? Seems like a really good guy that the world
You know what?
really was rude to.
Manti's a sweet kid, okay? And I'm sick and tired of everybody shitting on him and making him feel like he wasn't a sweet kid, because he was such a sweet kid. Everything that you want out of a student athlete at Notre Dame. He wasn't Catholic, which I don't love, but he's a sweet kid, and he really got misrepresented in that. I still feel bad for Manti.
Did you write him a letter when all that shit came out?
Once again, I couldn't write him a letter because he's not Catholic. If he was Catholic, I would have, but he's Mormon, and I don't know about his religion as much as I do about the Catholic religion, touchdown Jesus, all that kind of stuff. But no, you know, I feel bad because Manti was such a good player. He was the highest rated linebacker recruit Notre Dame ever had, you know, and look at him now. He's just a shadow on a beach down in Hawaii.
Did you say sad ooze? Oh my God, Coach Holtz, I did not know you had ooze in the repertoire.
Yeah, of course. I just that guy recruited. We got some bad ooses in my time at Notre Dame. Offensive, defensive line. I stole a couple of them from SC and BYU and all those places.
Jesus. Oh, I'll tell you, I did not expect that today.
Up next on PMSN 14, how a local man won thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars from the world's #1 sportsbook this past weekend. With more, here's Nikki Lucine.
Hello and welcome to this special investigative report. What was once considered dirty and dangerous, sports wagering, now regulated and legalized, has many of us dreaming big. We're all searching for the big one, a wager of massive proportions. One of PMI's own, Boston Connor, was able to accomplish just that this weekend.
We sat down with the brazen member of the toxic table himself, just to find out how it all happened.
Yeah, it's been about 3 years or so of me placing these bets going all the way back to 2020, and you never think that every single guy on your parlay is going to score 2 touchdowns, let alone a same game parlay plus, but somehow, some way it happened. And I'm just relieved that telling people over and over and over again that plus 155,000 odds bets can hit finally did hit.
The wager consisted of 2 same game parlays, combined to create a same game parlay plus.
Devontae Adams, everyone said he stunk after last week because he only had 1 catch for 2 yards, so I figured Devontae's pretty good at football. He'll score 2. Travis Etienne, he was just kind of like, Etienne's playing well, he's never scored 2 touchdowns. You might as well just throw him in there just because, it. Austin Eckler, he always scores 2 touchdowns. And then Cordero Patterson, 2 touchdowns. Yeah, he's just coming off the IR, and I figure when they get to the goal line, they'll give it to Cordero, and they did. So that's kind of why I picked those 4. There's no real rhyme or reason, but yeah.
We did the math to calculate just how much of an investment this actually was. 50 total weeks at a median bet amount of $25 was $1,250 in 2+ touchdown parlays with a net of $26,750 after hitting this same game parlay plus.
Really? Holy shit.
What do you plan to spend the remaining winnings on?
Sunglasses and bubblegum, maybe cigarettes, I don't know.
Until next time, good night, good morrow, good luck, and good fortunes.
Hey,
Why?
let's go.
This show fucking stinks, and the fact that you listen, we are very, very thankful for it.
AJ, you never cease to amaze me with your toxicity, pal.
You got a couple of these?
God damn it!
What the fuck are you doing?
Boston
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to our humble abode, the FanDuel Thunderdome. On this Thursday Night Football Thursday, December 22nd, already Hour 3 starts, and now
football
is here, and a man that's not participating in the Open
always
for the 1,255th day. He's a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion, a video game shit stirrer, an NBA pundit, a man who did not play Mall Santa ever in his life. Do not get it twisted. The father of 10, COVID survivor, AJ Hawk.
AJ!
All right, buddy.
Did any of you play Mall Santa? And how creepy is that if like a 20-some-year-old is the Santa?
Yeah, just in general, I think. We don't have to get into descriptors of ages of doing it.
Age don't matter.
But certainly an experience and memory for people. I was never Mall Santa. I don't believe there's any photos of me with any Mall Santas either because of how I acted, I think, around Mall Santas for whatever reason it was. But it's a time-honored tradition. Yeah. It's a holiday.
Went for the first time ever, I think, in my life, like 2 weeks ago. Guy was super nice.
Full profession.
Yeah.
Mostly retired people, right? Who just
he
so
was
happen to
definitely
have a
older.
Santa look.
He had a
and
very jolly Santa look.
Overweight. and
sometimes
white
with
beard.
wife too, right? Being Mrs. Claus, it's like a thing they
Unfortunately,
do
I
for
think
to pass time during the holiday
this guy-
season.
this
A
guy
little
did-
bit of a hustle.
He
That's
didn't have
fun,
Mrs.
though.
Claus. I don't know what happened.
Well, she might. Let's have a moment of silence for the Mall
Maybe,
of Santa's
potentially.
Yeah.
wife.
Mm-hmm.
They had a good run. 10, 15 years, mall to mall to Santa, a photo.
What if he
op.
killed her?
Jesus.
He's bad Santa.
Even more so, a moment of silence for the Mrs. Claus that got wiped off the face of the earth because of Mall Santa Claus.
Ran over by a reindeer.
Oh no.
That was Grandma.
Yeah, but it could have happened to Mom too, I guess. What if her?
What was it? A
My mother and my mother's mother both got run over by a reindeer.
It's like the staircase.
Well, that was an owl.
That guy's innocent.
Wow.
They've rolled out some new facts in that particular case.
Oh yeah.
Really?
His
Next moment of
ex-wife.
silence, Nick. Yeah, I think there's a lot more to that story than what we all saw with.
Well, I think that's obvious.
Our hat off to Rudolph.
We didn't know. We fucking talked to the lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We tried to do journalism. We brought the defense attorney in here to talk, but this isn't their moment of silence.
No.
This is Mall Santa
Miss
that
Claus.
Diggs' baby took a photo
Yep.
with 2 weeks ago.
That's right.
Wife.
Yeah.
She fucking was great.
Was.
Dead as shit.
Creme de la
How'd she
creme.
die?
She good,
What
Baker?
happened?
Details
OD.
weren't.
I hope it's
released.
funny, bro.
Jesus.
On cookies.
On cookies. Okay.
She had a nut allergy,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a tough allergy to have as Mrs. Claus.
She wasn't told
Santa
about
had
it.
a peanut butter cookie and kissed her.
They sucked face.
That's right.
They were doing a mall in France. They French kissed
That's right.
to celebrate the moment. And Santa's tongue took out Mrs. Claus. We do not know if this is her or not.
Hell yeah.
Rest in peace. What's your problem?
Fucking
What's this guy's deal? Rest in peace to Mrs. Claus at that particular mall. I do believe there are hundreds and hundreds and
That
thousands of
Mrs.
thousands.
Claus right there is a fucking rocket.
Mrs. Claus right here?
Yeah.
Makes great cookies. Mrs. Claus right here.
Unbelievable.
That was one of our worst moments of silence, and I want to let you know I'm embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
I am embarrassed by it.
It's a tough one.
We've had it a little bit with journalists this week, huh? We've been back and forth a little bit, haven't we?
Yeah, what's going on?
I don't know. I think we're just pointing out some things that have happened probably for a very long time, and I'm trying to do it in the because what Vaughn said, like the media is very vital, very important for the NFL. I understand that, so that's why every time we chat about anything media related, always try to set the stage with like, this is not about media as a whole. This is this situation that is being talked about. This is maybe if it isn't even about this particular person. This is about this particular person in this situation. We try not to, I think I try my best to do that because I tried to understand where whoever's come from. This week, though, we've had to say some things.
Yeah.
And it's about people, I think, that have heard about us saying some things. And then those people's friends, have to stick up for them. And then those people's fans of those people's friends has. So it's really been quite and I didn't want it. I just wanted to point out some things. I just wanted to be like, hey, from players' side, we can't have this happening.
Yeah.
But you got to do what you got to do as well. So, like, there has to be a different way to do it. It's basically been all our messaging has been, but it has been a week of that. Let's put that to rest. It's a holiday.
Holiday season.
Of course. Happy holiday.
Yeah.
And you weren't generalizing.
Happy.
You weren't saying everybody. It's more so just like pointing out like flaws sometimes. And it's not as if we don't have any.
And their job is to point out our flaws. They
Exactly.
do, and players' flaws and everything like that.
It's accountability just like the referees. Like, hey, if the referees held each other accountable, then it would be a much different story. And I feel like it can work that way with the media too. Or like,
and
you
for
kinda
us,
have to.
held me accountable.
Exactly. Yeah.
They do.
Yes.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
I get buried on a pretty good regular basis. I should have said I believe differently after the anonymous sources thing.
But like, what does that even mean?
I saw TJ.
What do you mean?
TJ Lang jumped in last night. That was fun to see.
In that
What'd he
situation,
do?
Yeah.
See, I've muted it because I just want to.
He said, "Oh, it's weird. It's almost like players. I think I'm trying to remember. I saw it like 1 a.m. It's almost like players have notebooks in these meetings that they could write things down."
Okay, so obviously that article is what spurred this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if I read that article before, Aaron comes on, none of this happens. So ultimately, my fault. Why situation has taken.
Wait, so if you wouldn't have said anonymous sources, we would have been fine from the jump, you think?
Yes.
Probably.
That is literally how. Now, I said I believe, which I think in the English language, not 100% sure if how everybody else speaks, but how I speak. When I'm saying I believe, I was trying to give like an I think, but I probably said I think probably 50 times before that. So I said I believe just as a different one because I read the couple of the quotes, but I don't have a subscription, so I didn't read the entire article. So I wanted to portray as if I wasn't matter of fact.
Yeah.
I should have done better with that, or I should have read the article. Both those things, my fault, and I will take onus on that. But I will say, whenever that becomes the talking point, then I start getting attacked, right? Let alone Aaron and the article about how demanding he is.
Mm-hmm.
But then because it's kind of set up as me being doofus, which happens on a regular basis, that kind of opens gates for a lot of people who've been like, we've been waiting for this.
Yeah.
So then I start getting, some bombs. And I'm the type of person that's like, okay, been waiting for this. Like same thing as you, on the opposite side here. I do things differently. And I was told to read the article. So told the boys, how long would it take me to read this thing?
Mm-hmm.
Nick was being way too kind. He says 5 minutes. Ty goes, hey, probably 10. This thing, you know what I mean? Let's do that. I'm like, okay, so we can do it on the show. And then I say, is it worthy of reading or is it going to be terrible? Mixed results, okay? Do we think it's worthy of being entertaining for people that are watching? A waste of minutes almost. Is this worth it or not to even get in there? Mixed results, but mostly yeah. And then there was numerous times it was like, you want to read this before you go live? And I'm, no. I want it to be first time live on there.
Fresh.
So we probably could have handled that differently as well. I probably could have read certain parts so I didn't, as I was reading, openly disgusted with what I was reading.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably not a good thing to do either. So I apologize for that part of it. AJ, I would like that to be acknowledged. I apologize for doing that.
I don't think you need to apologize, really, especially anymore. You don't need to continue, but yeah, whatever. It's going to continue to happen forever, especially as more and more athletes continue to jump into this world.
So now I'm getting messages from peers of person telling me that right now, I just want to let people know, kind of doing this again.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Wasn't going to mention ever again. People kind of doing this because I'm okay to explain myself in this situation. A lot of things being said about me by your party too. You know what I mean? Your side of the ball. I know my people who watch and follow the show, they get active on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
And I try not to address anything because I don't want that type of negativity in my timeline, anybody else's timeline. It happens. But the people that watch the show are incredible human beings. I'm very thankful for them. We all are. So if I'm going to get openly attacked by people, I think they are some people, not all. Let's not get generalized, by the way. Some are going to say some things.
Yeah.
But that's in response to your people saying things as well. So whenever you send me a text hey, can you please, things are being said, it's of course, but things were being said beforehand as well. I'm not good with that situation. You know what I mean? I'm not good at that whole thing because I'm oh, we should run this back for another week or so. Sounds like,
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just so if we are going to do this, let's do this because I tried at my best to be hey, this lady worked for Defector Media. She worked for Sports Illustrated. She worked for Monday Morning Quarterback. She works for The Athletic currently. Much respect for everything she's done. This particular article, though, and getting upset with me saying I believe anonymous sources, and then the way it was described by somebody that I had not talked to about it, and then putting me into a position to get attacked. I don't think there was just, flaw free on both sides here to get into this whole thing. AJ, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, as long as there's as far as media and athletes, current stuff that's going on, we talked about in the locker room, as long as there's respect both ways, And I would imagine I know at least myself, I should say, I'm not going to speak for you. I'm not on the side that says, oh, you have to have played pro football or at least a high level of football to talk about it. No, that's garbage. Yeah, I want a bunch of big, dumb old meatheads writing about the game. Like, that's not exactly what we need.
Agreed.
So, but also, like, yeah, there's a way to come at players, and I feel like the Gio Bernard thing was weird. That one, to me, was tough to watch.
Yeah,
she apologized.
She did. She
Yeah,
came
which
out,
is great.
Both of them.
which was cool. And
I get it too. I understand even in the heat of the moment. Like, I get both sides. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, I understand, like, the respect. I understand all sides, and I get it. But yeah, like, just this is how it's going to be. So let's figure it out.
Yeah, we don't mean any ill intent towards anybody.
No.
Never.
Except for some.
Maybe.
Some, but just privately with our sage and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, that conversation we had about the article was really insightful to hear the behind the scenes of a player's perspective on like the hand signal meetings, and D-Butt mentioned one the defense does. Like, that's stuff that I had no idea about, so that was pretty
So
cool.
great work with that article.
Yes.
Look at us.
It
Look at
was
us coming
really
together.
cool.
Article, open up conversation for more stuff to be learned. That's good. This is
Hell
good
yeah.
news. Happy holidays over here.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
And I know I'm just big dumb player, but I'm okay to get in the weeds if you want. You know, like I'm.
Hop in the trench.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm okay. And as a punter, you can't talk much shit. But in this particular world, we've gotten to a place pretty quickly where we can't. You know, and that's a pretty good place to be. We don't want any drama with anybody, though, or beef with anybody. We have respect for Kalen. We have respect for Jenna Lane. We have respect for Paul Kuharski. We have respect for the unknown person that told Josh Allen, your offense can't win a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Lombardi? Belichick? Is that somebody that knows football, or is that just a media person who knows football enough to tell Josh Allen that you can't win a Super Bowl with your offense in his face in that moment? We don't know. We have respect for their work. We appreciate what they do for the NFL. But also, let's just move forward. Hey, let's move forward. Pause.
Yeah.
What we say?
That was supposed to be quite a smear of Aaron Rodgers, you know. And we knew that as we're reading it when it says Christian Watson almost ruined this, you know. And then the photo of Aaron is him obviously in a bad spot. It's like that is a guy that we know. He's never had, I don't think, somebody who's like come out and been like, hey, this dude not as bad as you're making him out to be. I feel like we have been a part of that, and everybody's like, that's your meal ticket. Oh, just another guy propagandizing for Aaron Rodgers. It's like nobody ever propagandized for Aaron Rodgers, so that's why we kind of feel obligated to be like, no, like that ain't this ain't a real thing. If it is, I feel like we have. You know, we talked to Blue of Earth there for a little bit.
Yeah, that's right.
We talked about some the ayahuasca. I mean, we talked heavy ayahuasca. I actually offended him. Remember plant drug?
Yeah, that's right.
That thing. We've covered basically everything.
Bring
you know?
Blue home.
But if it's a nothing burger, we have to acknowledge that.
Has to be addressed.
Mad respect for everybody though.
Oh yeah.
Also, it added a term to our lexicon, which is nice.
Exaggerated nothingness.
Good.
Dude. Is that not the
Pretty
most
good.
Aaron Rodgers descriptor of all time? Like the way he would describe something? Oh, exaggerated nothingness. Has he ever said that before? Did you ever hear that in conversation? Or do you think
I don't know if I've
it?
ever heard it. I think that's what I was just going to say. I wonder if it's something he thought of when he heard about the story or read it, or in the moment. It's very possible he just in the moment that's when he came up with it.
It's an 8 scroller, Aaron. Oh, so it's dramatic. They exaggerated. There's nothing.
Exaggerated nothing.
That's what it is.
AJ thinks us talking about the storm before it's here is exaggerated nothingness.
No, I don't.
Yesterday.
Okay.
Remember, was that today he came in?
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yesterday came in. Oh, sounds like we're worrying about something we can't control and probably won't be as bad as
Let's
they're saying it's
cancel
going to be.
everything.
But yeah, no Christmas.
Great to be prepared. It is great to be prepared. It's another thing to sit and talk about it for 4 days before and talk about if you want to get some salt, get some shovels ready, maybe change your travel plans. That's great. But if I want to sit here and look at my phone and check the weather for 4.5 days and worry about it before it gets here, that's when I struggle.
Yeah, it's going to ruin your life because that thing could change at any given moment. It has already changed from Saturday to Friday to Thursday at 8 to Thursday at 5 today. It said it's coming faster than we thought. It has gained speed over Illinois and Missouri is kind of what the weather folks are saying right now. This thing's supposed to be
We want dark or light or purple or light. What do we want?
well, just like most Dopplers, okay, don't want the darkest color.
Right.
Purple, the dark
Where's
is
the
the
snow?
color,
Bring me the
is
snow.
the temperature.
This is temp, yeah. So -5 is the start of purple, and then the darker purple gets I would assume the lefter it goes on the temperature thermometer.
This is right now.
Hey, Joe, I did a lot of research here. Last couple of days. The snow totals aren't going to be as high
-6.
as
What time
another
is that?
storm,
That's
but
Friday.
I heard
they
you get a
can't
lot of
clear
snow.
they can't clear the roads because of the temperature drop, and salt doesn't work
Salt
below
doesn't work,
15 degrees.
Well, salt.
Yeah, that's the tough thing. Yeah, like an inch, like 2 inches of ice underneath the snow. That's brutal.
So they say you have to have the salt down before the ice
But
to cook from the bottom.
Salt right now.
But
Yeah.
the rain will wash away the salt, so they can't lay it down now because it's just a waste.
So this is a 3-piece.
Yes.
Exactly.
So we've been calling this a 2-piece from Mother Nature. This is a 3-piece. We're bringing the rain to not only get it wet everywhere, also clear out all of the anti-icing situations they
Right.
got. Let's clear the palate out. Let's stick around, keep it moist, but let's clear the palate out.
Wash it away.
And then hit them with the hurricane of ice and just like they're Jack Frost.
Maybe we all head to AJ's house,
That'd be
hunker
sweet.
down, spend the holidays with him.
Which one?
Come on down. You guys, what are you talking about? You would never think about driving here. You guys are already too scared to go.
No, you
home,
can drive
so-
east. Okay.
You have those tunnels. We could just take those.
Yeah, underneath your house. Don't
How
you have those
sweet would that
tunnels?
be? No, but it's a huge
It would be.
mistake I made. We
Submarines.
built this house, and I didn't build any tunnels or any secret things underground like I should have.
Wink, wink.
Nod.
Uncle Wexy's house has a tunnel to every.
Uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the
What?
bullet train underneath it.
Yep. Continue, please continue.
Uncle Wick.
This is all documented.
Yeah, I was going to say this is a matter
Oh,
of
whoa,
fact.
whoa. I believe.
There you go.
True.
Yeah.
I believe this is matter of fact.
I believe.
I believe that.
Uncle. I believe that we. I believe that we know your uncle's Wexy.
Correct.
I believe that. I believe that we know your uncle's Wexy. I believe that we know your uncle's Wexy.
And that you did that commercial for the waterproofing of your basement as a cover up for the tunnels.
I believe that your uncle's Wexy.
It's interesting, Tone.
Is that what happened?
No, I wish that would have been. Yeah, that would have got. I would have got a lot of value out of that. If I would
What are you
have
buying
done
for
that.
the? What do you buy for the family? Are you big go to the store guy, or are you doing? Did you
I've
try
always
to
been
Amazon it?
online.
Always.
Experiences?
I mean, I've always been stuff online, and over the time, yeah, we have some experience stuff that we do. Like usually one experience thing. Yeah, we'll see. Kids ask for a couple things. We tell them how many things they get.
We'll see.
It's a talk show, bro. We're trying to learn.
What the
You know
fuck?
what I mean? You got your father.
No, like we go to games. I think we're gonna. They might go. Might take my
Whoa,
boys to a
don't.
Bengals game later.
Whoa,
Might take
whoa,
my-
whoa,
Don't tell them.
I hope they're not watching.
Yeah, no. Hopefully they don't see this. Honestly,
Well, plus you don't know
yeah,
what
2
everything
days.
they're getting
Sounds like
because
he's pretty
Santa's
confident.
bringing stuff.
Yeah, what about
that's
Santa?
what I'm saying.
Well,
They
Santa
get
still
stuff from
got
Santa.
gifts, too.
Yeah, Santa's
They get
got
3 things from Santa and then like 3 from us.
How do
Do
you
you
know?
do the stocking? Do you do the stocking?
that's how
and
we do it.
And Santa does the tree. Is that how it goes?
What do you mean?
No,
There's
okay.
a stocking.
Does
No,
Uncle
we have a
Bobby
separate
stop
pile.
by?
Did
We
Santa
have
tell you?
a pile from Santa, a pile from us.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Santa. Does he know? Like he comes in, he's orderly, and just puts it in
Yeah.
his little fucking square. Or?
He already told you he's only getting 3
They write
gifts
down
a
3
kid.
things they want from Santa. Yeah,
What
and
about
hopefully he
little-
brings it.
What about little Santa?
Canada.
Oh yes.
Do you honor the Canadian?
Little Santa.
Boxing Day's coming up.
Boxing Day is coming.
Is that in Canada?
I don't think it has anything to do with Little Santa, right? Boxing
No, it's
Day?
26th.
Yeah.
December
Is it
26th,
Trudeau?
Boxing Day.
No, it's in England and Australia too, so I don't think it has.
I don't think we had cleared what Little Santa was before we're getting to a whole nother holiday.
That's December 6th.
Little Santa's like I believe it's December 6th. They get a little present.
Yeah, you
before.
leave a
Yeah.
boot
Yeah.
out in your, living room, and then when you wake up on December 6th, there is a present in your boot, and I think it
Kicks off.
Exactly, kicks off.
Nice.
It's like one present in the boot every week or something.
Yeah,
Goopy?
that's Little Santa. It's
Yeah.
Canada,
Yeah.
not just
Yeah.
Gump. That's Canada.
Little Santa.
AJ, do you do Elf on the
Sounds-
Shelf?
Oh yeah, we have that.
How many?
That seems like a fun one.
One for each
4.
kid.
4. We have 4 kids. Yes, we have 4 now.
Okay, who's the best at it?
What do you mean?
Oh, the elf
Best at what?
hides, right? Is
Yeah.
that what
Yeah,
happens?
which
Yeah.
and they're always like up to mischief and stuff.
Yeah.
And then what? The kids find the elves?
They wake up and go find them. Yeah,
Who's the best finding the elf?
at find. Well, my 9-year-old gets up every morning before all of them and goes and searches it out and finds it.
Legend.
All of
Then
them?
reports as they wake up. Well, yeah, they're usually together.
Yours is there.
Oh, and then gives it away?
No, he waits till they come down, then leads them around.
Hell yeah.
Little guys.
What were the elves
What's
doing
his
this
name?
morning?
What's whose name?
Who is it? Which one's the 9-year-old?
My son Hendrix. My 9-year-old Hendrix. Yeah.
Hendrick seems to be This could be an
He's
FBI.
older than me.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
more
maybe.
mature than me. I tell him all the
Detective.
time. Like he like reprimands me. Yeah,
Middle name
he's-
Jimmy?
He's like really. No, his middle name's
James.
Knight. K-N-I-G-H-T. But
Hendrix
he's like telling me.
Nighthawk.
Hell yeah.
Get him in the octagon. Yeah,
Nighthawk.
Get him in the octagon.
Dude, Nighthawk is going to be a fucking special agent too. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Finding the elf before everybody
Yeah.
else, taking notes,
Has his
showing people around.
classmates found out his middle name yet? Because he's never going to be called by his first name ever again.
Dude, Nighthawk is going to be president. It's awesome.
Step Brothers was big when he came. Step Brothers was big before he was born. But yeah.
Is this at your house or is this just?
See, we're not. This is the thing. People get very carried away. That is not happening in our house.
AJ, what about that time you came here and you told us that you do butt plug on the rug?
What is that exactly, Nick? Can you please tell me? Can you
Well, you were
refresh my
telling us
memory?
about it, so it's just
That was a Tahoe right out on the deck.
Butt plug on the rug.
It was the second
What's it
night.
called again?
Yeah.
What's it called again?
It was the second night out at Tahoe. We were all very alarmed.
Yeah.
When everybody.
shocking.
You said
Aaron
you-
was
Don't
playing
you
a
have
guitar.
kids?
Aaron was actually playing a guitar.
Oh yeah.
String broke.
Jordo had just got out of the lake. He was shaking himself off with the sun. And then we were kind of
Helicopter.
Yeah, I don't.
It's
He
like a
might have been. I was
movie.
trying not to. I was trying to give him his own privacy, but he wanted to be around the group. I was smoking dope, I believe. Nick, I think, was drinking a whiskey.
Right.
Connor had great energy. He was still holding the bag out there.
Yeah. Slept in it.
Yeah.
And it was like, boys, how we doing? And then, hey, just kind of a wild question. I want to get ahead of this. Like, holiday talk. Do you guys do butt plug on a rug, or is that just our house?
What?
And everybody, Jordo turned,
Yeah, string broke on the guitar.
boom, and then he stopped playing. And then Nick dropped his whiskey.
What?
It never, ever happens. And then you went on to explain, if you could do that for everybody right now, though.
Well, first off, Nick, is this something you came up with in the moment, or is this something you've heard before? I've never heard the term butt plug
from you.
From,
You
right.
told us at Tahoe.
Yeah.
Nick told me that.
How would that work?
Nick told me
Just,
that.
I literally just
Nick,
told.
obviously, so Nick brought it up. It's like the old deal. Whoever smelt it, dealt it when they fart when you tell kids. So, Nick, what is it? You've been sticking butt plugs in your butt, and then you rub your little cakes on the rug?
Okay, so that seems.
So that is
No
what it is.
judgment,
There it is.
no judgment here.
Nick told me you said that you do put that in your butt, and then you drag your butt like a dog does across the rug.
Oh yeah, that's a good play.
Yeah,
That's a good
AJ,
play.
every year, AJ says, me first, me first.
He's the best at it.
That's not me, but I'm sure people that do that must love it.
Oh, so you must have been asking if we had ever heard of that.
Oh, because you
Got it. Okay, I remember you brought it up. I didn't know what it was. If you
I
were,
mean, I will definitely have random questions at times, but unfortunately, that has not been one of them. But Nick, I might put that in my arsenal next time.
Just Googled it, laying on a suck site, so stay away.
Okay, nice.
please
There's a
don't do
hide
that
the
on our
pickle game.
Wi-Fi.
Did you get off the
Please
Wi-Fi
don't do
with
that
it?
on our
Oh,
Wi-Fi.
no.
Just
You
use
do
your
it.
LTE, please.
There's a hide the pickle game in the Christmas tree too.
Oh yeah, that's classic.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Who's that?
How does that
Everybody
work?
has the capability to grab the pickle.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
you hang the pickle ornament somewhere. Someone hides it, and whoever finds it first gets like $20 or $100.
Nice.
That's not bad.
Do
Very
they hide
fun,
it then? Where do they hide it? Do someone hide it again?
No, usually it's just one round. Unless you have a lot of people, then you got
Oh,
to
so there's one pickle being tossed around for everybody to go out there and grab.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
only
but-
one lucky pickle grabber gets the pickle, and they win the $100.
bingo. Sometimes it's a present, that everyone can have. It's one for all, but it's very fun.
Not just a Christmas thing, but LCR's big Christmas thing around family gathering.
Oh,
Yeah,
left, center, right.
yeah, my family does that.
Good game.
Great.
Yeah.
Talking about ones, right? We're passing ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I enjoy that game. An idiot can play.
Yeah.
A drunk doofus can play.
Yeah.
That's right.
Those are the best games for those types of situations. Hey, just roll it. We'll do it for you.
Left,
Perfect. Keep it around. Yeah, you're out. What? Could come back though.
You
How?
got to pony up.
Need an L over
Never
here.
out.
Need an L
You're
over
never truly
here.
out. That's why it's fun, man.
So then when you have no money and you're drunk, come on, L. Yeah, I'm back. Roll R. There you go. Just right back.
Does Waxy always make you guys play with hundreds during that, or?
No, never been over there. I tell you, I do want to check out that complex. I would love to get in the walls. It is a giant facility.
That compound. All right, let's talk about some news. Gardner Minshew starting for the Eagles.
Win.
Okay, this is something that you
Victory.
believe in. His energy is fantastic. We obviously all have seen him and his old man who had a leather jacket on out in the parking lot after his last start where he got a win, where it was like, we did it almost.
Yeah.
Okay, we've been saying this all along. Had great success in Jacksonville, wasn't supposed to have success in Jacksonville. Jacksonville was in the middle of a turnover, even though they were selling bandanas and jorts all around Jacksonville. It was the first attraction that the Jags had for a long time. We have to move on, get him out of there. Goes to Philadelphia, has some big-time plays. They bring in Jalen Jalen Hurts. He's a fucking guy. Now, Gardner Minshew allegedly has gone in to say, hey, can I compete for the starting spot or get traded? I don't remember which one it was. Either way, Sirianni said, no, we need you. And also, Jalen's our starter. But this is why they needed him. They got Gardner Minshew, who has played very good football, very meaningful football, and it's a big-time fucking division game when you could have never expected losing your guy. Jalen Hurts has been their guy. They've been riding him. He's been fantastic. He's in the MVP conversation. He's out. Biggest game of the year in the division against the Cowboys to basically lock up a good number 1 seed here in the NFC over the next couple weeks. Gardner Minshew steps in. You're saying he's going to win. I think the team loves him, I'd assume, from everything we've seen from outside looking in. He's a great guy to have as a backup quarterback for that Eagles team, AJ.
I mean, this just shows you how valuable it is to have a good backup quarterback that has started and won many, many games in the NFL. You could trust him. It's tough because you don't need him until you need him, and you might not need him for 2 years. But then here we go, the Eagles. This is a big time moment. You may need him to step in and win 1 or 2 games, and I think it's worth having a guy like Gardner back there.
We assume. This is all we assume.
Yeah,
right.
This is like the energy, and I think all the Johns, even the one that won head over ass crack.
Jeez.
Oh, man.
That
was real?
The Packers fan?
That was a Packers fan.
Saw both angles.
I've seen a couple different angles. Oh, that wasn't that was Green Bay and Chicago.
Yep.
Originally reported on the internet as an Eagles fan, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Green Bay fan goes, I don't want to show the video. I do not want to show the video.
Did the guy before he pushed him down, did he pull his pants down?
Yeah.
It's weird.
I thought he was checking his oil.
I know.
I know.
I didn't know.
That's so gross.
I thought he was potentially trying to trip him up even more. I thought that was like a chess play. The video from the angle in which you see him try to pull the big guy's pants down, there's a little bit of a head nod thing like this. I wonder what happened right before then. How did that whole thing start? And then all of a sudden, this Packers fan gets tossed down an entire section of the upper deck.
Oh, yeah. That 300 level is so steep, too. It's literally climbing a ladder to get up there.
I think 3
flights.
I think there was...
It wasn't good.
Far.
Painful.
Yeah. Somebody could have got really injured with that guy going the way.
That ledge is very short, too. I've been up there.
He could have got very injured.
If he doesn't
break
hit
his neck,
if he doesn't hit that middle bar, his momentum is sending him right through he's falling to his death. That guy weighed 600 pounds, maybe. If his butt cheeks don't act as airbags, then that guy is like a runaway, a runaway train. Yeah, snowball. He's going right through the guardrail.
The juggernaut, really.
And he's falling and probably killing 15 to 20 people in the deck below.
No.
I think it would have been catastrophic.
And that guy up top who pushed him probably gets charged with
Absolutely.
He should get charged still. We don't know what happened before that. That was a fucking dangerous... That does not need to continue to happen at NFL games.
No.
There was games where, remember, fresh out of the COVID quarantine, everybody was getting back into public, and they had forgotten, it should have gotten real sweet in the living rooms whenever you're saying things on the internet, and the worst thing that can happen back is you either get blocked or somebody says something back to you. People we thought had maybe forgotten that when you get back out in the public amongst people, some people ain't about the shits.
No.
And that came very quickly in the sporting world.
Oh, yeah.
There was that Diamondbacks.
I think it was
Padres.
Rockies Padres.
Padres
Yes.
walks all the way, section over, comes all the way down, walks past people, right hand to face, knockout city, fall, walk away, what?
Yeah.
What? And then that started happening. Boom. Basketball won. Boom. Another basketball one.
Boom.
Then it just started happening. Football started happening. It was like, oh no. Is this happening more than it was happening before the quarantine? And is this like a new norm at these sporting? Kind of disappeared.
Yeah.
Kind of disappeared for a little bit. There's a snowball video resurfacing from 2009 in Philadelphia on the internet that is maybe the most amount of snowballs I've ever seen thrown at one person or two people.
Yeah.
There is.
Awesome.
I believe it's Niners fans.
It is.
That's Crabtree
Crabtree,
jersey.
yeah.
Niners fans in Philadelphia in the middle of a snowstorm and easily targetable, obviously, with the jerseys and
Security's like, come on.
the entire half of the stadium
It's nuts.
pelted forever. Just wait. We are nowhere near done. We are nowhere near. They are going to throw.
Oh, my goodness.
The guy next to him is just taking friendly fire.
Oh, yeah. Right in the back. Look at that direct shot. And then
Oh, no, it's another Niners.
Oh.
Yeah. What?
Oh, he takes it off so they know.
Man, someone's going to. Hopefully, there's no ice in there.
Yeah, it's from 2009. So things have been happening in stands for a long time. Anybody that's ever had to walk up one of those and like sit in one of those and like when you have to go piss, you have to get up and go back down. You think to yourself, "Oh shit! If I fall here,
Terrifying.
Dead.
there's a chance we go." In the upper decks of these stadiums that are being built, we can't just be having standard operating procedure being pulling somebody's pants down so they can't have their balance.
Right.
And then hucking them down there.
No, can't do it.
Can't make that move. That can't become a thing.
Should be a
okay?
weight limit up there because of that, just in case.
Oh, don't put on him.
Come on.
Sorry.
It's not his fault.
Well,
That could happen to anybody.
Well, see, we're saying it's not his
weigh
fault,
in.
but we don't know. Did he instigate the fight?
We don't
'Cause there's
know.
a chance.
We
Exactly.
don't know.
That's what I mean.
Pull his pants down right now. Throw him off the stage.
Yeah, but I wouldn't kill 18 people when I landed. That's the difference.
Once again, we don't know why it started or how it started.
Exactly.
We just know that it has started and we need to stop it.
I'm assuming that guy ate like 2 chili dogs or something before he went up there. Farted, probably sitting right next to this guy.
Yeah.
This guy
Outdoor
probably
fart.
puked in his mouth or
Yeah.
something and was like, all right, I got to eject this guy out of here.
And that's on that guy.
Can't be eating. Saw him eat 2-foot-long chili dogs.
Let's go. Bear Dahn.
First quarter.
All
This
right, show the
happening all
video.
game.
Let's show the video.
You have to show it.
I have to show it at this point because there's people that haven't seen the video or hearing us talk and are asking us why we're doing this.
Top angle first.
This one is definitely the one. This is the Chicago Bears fan, obviously here with
Bird
a C, and then you have a Packers fan who is in the stairwell, has a Chicago Bears scarf on, which we will see, and there's a give and take.
They're touching the roof, too.
This is third row from the back. Then
That's attempted murder.
well, that's what I'm saying. And then he takes his
Right
pants
here.
right here, boom, pants
That.
down,
What?
and then throw, boom.
Also known as the Packers family section.
Oh,
That was the Packers family section up there?
It's close to it.
look how high they are.
Dude, and look at the resiliency on this guy. Just getting up and walking back up the steps after that happened. He could have had a broken neck, anything else. And I don't know how this ends. I don't think I've seen the extended version here. But what a situation that we cannot have become a regular at NFL stadiums.
Wow.
Incredible.
That guy's so tough, though, by the way. Like, that really could have been a lot worse.
Dude,
Truthfully.
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah. I'm surprised he wasn't bleeding.
Do we have the bottom angle
Yeah,
as
you
well?
got to see the bottom.
Yeah.
angle.
Look at this.
This is the.
Imagine if this doesn't.
This is the
Boom.
creme de la creme.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought when I saw this cheeks are out. The guy. Happy hearing. He appears to be okay.
Was he really pulling his pants down? He couldn't do
Looked like it.
He wasn't pulling him up. You think he was pulling him up?
Yeah.
Hey, help me out, bro.
No, he pulled him down.
You think he was pulling him up to throw
Why
him?
is your go-to? Hey, I'm gonna this guy.
Guy's a
we're
bully.
in an altercation. I'm not gonna punch you. I'm gonna try to pull your pants down and throw you down this steep incline.
I do
So
believe
what
he was shooting.
What he was trying to do was, I think what he was trying to do was he wanted one of his friends, a schoolboy, like, hey, get into
one of those,
that.
yeah.
And he was like, oh, I don't have anybody that can do that. What's the next best option? Oh, use his own pants against him.
Yep.
Got
it.
it. So I think it was a planned schoolboy where he had to audible midway because his friend started filming instead of actually doing it. So he's like, I got to get him down somehow. Let's do like potato sack race almost.
Right.
Sure.
Let's get these down here so they got to be hopping
Quite
around.
calculated.
Or knew that guy was filming down there. He's like, oh, this is going to be awesome. Everyone's going to see this fucking guy's butt cheeks, and I'm going to embarrass his ass.
And I thought, that kid was trying to see, like, is this kid's ass crack 3 feet long? It's
I
insane.
assume there's going to be. That's a big guy. He's a big dude. He's
Yeah,
a big guy.
big, absolutely.
I assume there's going to be some sort of legal thing that's going to happen.
Should
with
be.
this. That was very dangerous. We're happy to see Buddy is apparently okay, and let's not make that a habit. Okay,
No.
let's all agree.
Yeah.
Do that in the first level.
Let's enjoy the game, you know?
Let's all agree that we're not doing that.
No.
Okay, we're all in this thing together, just like the media, the players, the coaches,
I'm here.
and things can get a little bit,
Put your hand down.
restless, and you can get irritable and make a fist. Oh, okay.
Oh,
okay.
what the hell? Holidays, dude.
Sweet fist.
We're all in this thing together. Let's remember that. And you ain't getting out alive. Team on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Team.
All right, let's cover some stuff. Tannehill likely out for the rest of the season per Paul Kuharski of paulkuharski.com.
Oh, yeah.
Paul Kuharski was the one who asked Mike Vrabel the question. Paul Kuharski's been covering the Titans a very long time. Sources have told me that Paul Kuharski said, in reference to the Vrabel interaction, somebody's going to ask tough questions. Sorry about it.
Sounds good.
That's what sources have told me. He and Vrabes, I assume, know each other very well and get get along. This is the way the season goes. Let's remember we're all in this thing together. Tannehill very likely to be out for the rest of the season after re-injuring his right ankle. That means Malik Willis will be quarterback, and we get glimpses of the future for the Tennessee Titans over the past couple weeks and also earlier in the year. It's a fascinating scene because he came out of nowhere, out of Liberty. We weren't supposed to have any quarterbacks that were worth a fuck this last draft class. Then as the draft, season came upon us, boy, quarterbacks were getting real good real quick. Desmond Ridder, he looks like a 35-year-old. He could become an NFL guy. People are like, Kenny Pickett, is he good?
Yeah.
Is he not good? He could be good. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Malik Willis. This guy might slide up into the top 5. We had never heard of him, had no idea. There was no chatter about him during the season, during his last year at Liberty. But all of a sudden, during draft season, after the combine, he gave his jacket to a homeless person. He was running around, showcasing a great arm, had incredible moxie and swagger at his pro day. And all of a sudden, the conversation was like, this dude's going to go top 5. This guy might be the first quarterback off the board. There was so much hype around him. He slides like the 3rd round, 4th round. Malik gets drafted to the Titans, and the future could be bright with him at quarterback. I don't think he's played great football as of late. I'm not sure he has it figured out, but he's young, and now he'll get some meaningful snaps for a team that is in a meaningful race right now in the AFC South that could turn over the last 3 weeks, AJ.
Man, think if Malik steps in and just plays very, very well. No, I know let's see how he's developed as a passer. That's been a thing. Like, he's a freak athlete and makes some crazy plays, but like consistently throwing the ball he hasn't really proven that in the NFL yet. What if he steps in, wins some games, looks great? Like, think of the hope in Tennessee. Like, this is a really good football team around him. So I think, we'll see what we have here. But man, also Reaves, and the rest of the team, they need Tannehill too. Like, if Malik doesn't step up and play well, you need Tannehill, no question.
Could be a fresh energy as well, which is always good for everything, and I'm not saying.
Who's Malik's backup? Do we know?
It was
Dobbs. They just signed him.
Josh Dobbs.
Josh Dobbs. Okay.
Hell yeah, he's going to have like a 15-year career when it's all said and done.
If he doesn't go to space first.
True.
And Malik Willis' 2 starts.
Guy's an astronaut.
Legend.
In Malik Willis' 2 starts, he was 6 of 10 for 55 yards. Pretty good. And 5 of 16 for 80 yards.
Training wheels have been on mightily when it comes to the pass game. But we'll continue to do that.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to do with a rookie quarterback. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is just natural. But we're seeing him so late. His rookie campaign is going to be beginning and getting meaningful minutes right now, so late in the season that we got to remember, we'll be interested to see 10 passing attempts, probably Vrabel's vision of the game. Hey, if we got to, this is what we'll do. This is how we'll beat them. Excited to see what they become, especially with Derrick Henry still being Derrick Henry, And they're in it. They get in the playoffs. Yes. They have a style of football that can go. They have a style of football that can travel, and it'll have to after the way this season has gone for AFC South as a whole after being the number 1 seed last year going into the playoffs. Their GM gets fired middle of the season. Mm-hmm. It's interesting how one person can bring a little juice or bring energy. Will that be the case?
The Jags 6-8. I believe the Titans are 7-7. Jags are now minus 145 to win the AFC South.
Oh, wow. No faith in Malik.
With Malik, too, you wonder if they'll use him more so how they started to use Justin Fields and really utilize the running game. And then also Tannehill, they got a potential out coming up soon, too. Will he be back next year if they're, it's 18.8, I think, in dead cap to cut him. What's the cap going to be? 220, 219, whatever?
Well, we don't know what it's going to be after this YouTube.
How much to keep him?
18,
how much to keep Tannehill?
20-something?
And Titans fans say, well, fucking Todd Downey ain't going to be able to figure out how to use Malik Willis.
Maybe he is. What if he is?
Yeah. Well, they need to figure out how to get another A.J. Brown back because their team legitimately fell apart after he left.
Yeah, the Titan story is an interesting one. Interesting one. We're pulling for you, though. Hey,
good
we're pulling for you down here.
How you know?
$36 million against the cap if they keep him.
Jesus.
18.8 if they don't.
So it's like basically you get rid of 50% of it.
36 million is a lot of million. Yeah. Congratulations to Tannehill with that check coming at some point. 18 at least at the lowest. Remember after last year, after they lose to the Bengals, he took it real hard.
Yep. Yeah, he did.
Disappeared for a little bit. Came back. Team was rolling again. They hit some bumpy roads. Going to make the playoffs, though. Going to win the AFC South. Who knows what happens in the playoffs? Now a season ends with an injury. In the future, gets an opportunity to shine in very, very important football games.
We already know what happened to the GM who cried and took it real hard. Vrabel got rid of his ass. So now Tannehill.
Vrabel said he was told about the firing. He didn't say do the firing.
Right.
2 different things.
He didn't order the hit.
He was told by the voice in his head.
Yeah. True. He said that. He was made aware.
How about him listening to that question the other day. You done, Paul? Oh, I can speak. Okay. Keep it short after that terrible question. Incredibly terrible question.
Long and terrible.
Body bag.
But then he gave him a pretty thoughtful and
Long answer.
Long answer. Yeah. Yeah.
That's Kowarski.
That's a good question by Kowarski.
Yeah. That's
PaulKowarski.com.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, let's go to. I think we got it.
Okay.
I think
news this week has been brutal.
Dude, we have to address Ronnie Hillman passing away. Very young age after a battle with liver cancer, I believe. It was announced he was in hospice a few days ago, and we all just assumed it wasn't the Ronnie Hillman that we were thinking of because he seemingly was way too young to be in hospice. Just won a Super Bowl whenever the Peyton and them won the Super Bowl with the Broncos. He was in hospice, and he has officially passed away. Rest in peace. Congratulations on an incredible football run, Ronnie Hillman, for accomplishing goals, for working hard, for making an impact on a lot of people. You done good. You didn't live nearly long enough, and that's a damn shame, and it's a great reminder to everybody that this could all end at any moment. So let's think about that during the holiday season. I think is a good thing to remind myself and hopefully everybody else. But rest in peace. That's two, football folks this week that pass away, and do not enjoy that at all. AJ Hawk.
He was was he only 31 years old?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's nuts. How long has he been out of the league?
I don't know. We didn't do
Not that long.
Yeah, no, a couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, 31. Are you kidding me? Like that's awful.
Perspective, though. Let's remember that.
Yep.
Can happen at any time in this insane world that we're living in. Most specifically, right now.
Yeah.
The time that we are in
Madness.
right now. I think we should all remember. Who knows what tomorrow brings? We know we have today, though, right?
Amen.
We have this opportunity to try to enjoy what we're doing. Even if it's shit, we can enjoy the story that we're going to tell about it later. We can frame things in our mind to be in a fashion that's enjoyable as opposed to miserable. You might pass away literally driving home today as this storm hits with ice. You might fall asleep and not wake up at a very young age for no reason at all that is happening to people. You can be seemingly healthy one moment and the next moment gone. Let's enjoy this time we have.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
Perspective.
It is. Perspective gets put into place very quickly whenever these types of things happen to somebody very young or friends. As we all have, I assume, in this generation, have experienced a lot of friends that have passed away, and it kind of is reality smacking you in the mouth, and then perspective hits you in the face afterwards, and then obviously all the memories and emotions flood with the person that passed away from whatever, and in our particular generation, pharma really, a lot of people got hooked, and a lot of people then spun out of control into different things, and then all one thing would have to be is laced with something, and boom, dead. Just a 9-month spiral, gone. Successful, see ya. And it's like perspective gets put, and then inevitably we all kind of just keep going, and then we forget about it. And then something else happens. It's like, man. And then you think about your other friend, and then life happens, and then something happens, and you forget about it. And then something happens again. It's like, let's just remember, let's just do that. Let's just remember now that anything can happen, and we need to enjoy this, and let's make it a fucking better place, hopefully, on our way out. AJ?
Yeah, we don't have to, somebody doesn't have to die every day that we know to give us that perspective. You're right. We can make that decision daily. Hey, pretty damn lucky. Like, you're born in America, you live here, you're doing whatever you're doing, yeah. Try to enjoy it, even though some things do suck and you don't want to do them. But like you said, I've adopted that a little bit, especially hanging out with you. Like, hey, this situation's terrible. I don't want to go. I don't really want to be here, but I end up having fun while I'm there. That's like, I thank you for that. You've definitely changed my perspective on stuff like that.
Come on. Well, that's because I've had to be a part of a lot of terrible things. So I had, I had to start framing it. I had to start being like,
it helps. It helps.
Oh, yeah.
Can I please get something out of this? Yeah. The story, but people aren't going to believe that this is the shithole I'm in. Let me look around at everything that's here. All right. That's sitting there. That's sitting there. Hey, how long you guys been in this? All right, perfect. Then I try to learn as much as possible. Then as soon as I leave, Nick, listen to this. What's going on? I was just in a fucking had a toaster over. Listen, a toaster over here. Boom. It's just like that is just literally how I decided to deal with it. I appreciate you adapting it to your own because we've learned a lot of stuff about how to adjust to life through AJ Hawk as well. Right. Everybody has an impression and an influence on everybody. Let's remember that with how we act. Let's enjoy the hell out of the holiday season. We have no idea if we're going to be live tomorrow. Honestly, I would say we will be. That is the plan. But if Mother Nature is actually going, let it rain, where's the salt? Clear it out, okay? And then leave them boys. And then, like Jack Frost with Freeze, and the entire northern part of America becomes an ice skating rink, which is what I think we're being told is potentially going to happen with the flash freeze that's coming after the rain. I'm not going to tell the boys, to get out there and endanger themselves for us to do a program. So there's a chance we have show tomorrow. We're all planning on having show tomorrow. But if what's coming is coming, we won't. So with that being said, I'd like to take this time publicly. Boys, have a fucking incredible Christmas, okay? Enjoy your families. You've earned the great meal and hopefully the happy times that you're going to have at your Christmas gathering, whether it's large or small because nobody's allowed to travel. AJ, fucking incredible year this year, pal. Incredible year. I hope you have a great Christmas. To all the boys, thank you for everything this year.
Thank you, Pat.
To the people that are watching, no, thank you guys. To everybody that's watching, have an incredible Christmas. Have an incredible holiday. We can't thank you enough for allowing us to do this every single day for a living. And whenever you decide to move on, we completely understand. We're going to ride this thing as long as we possibly can. Continue to try to have as much fun as possible. Cover the sport that we love of the NFL football and college football. It's been fun adding college football this year.
Yeah, it has been fun following it.
We've talked more about college football this year than we ever have.
Never paid attention to it till now.
We didn't, never. Watched it, didn't talk about it on the show. There's strictly NFL show. Why would anybody want to hear from us about college football whenever there's other people in there? Now, getting a chance to experience the college football world, learn more about it, I've enjoyed the hell out of it. I've enjoyed our conversations on here about it. How about Ohio State getting back in college football?
How about it? It's proof they're not soft.
This is for the entire state, right, Ohio?
Big game on New Year's Eve.
Big game down in the Peach Bowl in Georgia versus Georgia. That's going to be a tough barn. A lot of barking. A lot of hands on knees, khakis. A lot of people in khakis. Hands on knees. Billionaires in a sweater vest with a G on it and a button up underneath.
Yep.
Both tucked into khakis. Those penny loafer things.
Yep. Tassels.
Hands on knees. For 4 quarters.
Big Nut better bring the juice.
Big Nut is going to have to bring some friends. Couple nuts. Might find a Roman or two. Get the tee up. Bring some nuts down with you. That's going to be a tough barn, but they're back in there. But college football has been awesome. Big thank you to everybody. Have an incredibly Merry Christmas. We'll have a show tomorrow, unless we won't have a show tomorrow.
Yes.
And if we do, I'm sure it'll stink like every other one. You all are the best people on earth. Have a good one. AJ, appreciate you, buddy.
Appreciate you, man, and rest of the boys as well.
Hammer Dahn is in 15 minutes at youtube.com/Hammer Dahn. Tone, I hope you talk about this super boost that we have this evening on FanDuel because we're trying to go back to the back. It's going to be ugly. Super boost. Wind 20 miles an hour. Rain a constant. A storm is on the move across America, and it'll be felt in New Jersey as the Jaguars travel, winning 3 out of the last 4 to take on the Jets team, who have lost 3 out of the last 3.
Yeah, that's right.
ETN scores his first touchdown in a while because it's going to be a ground and pound game with that wind and that weather system. And we don't believe over 39.5 points are going to be scored, once again, because of the wind and that weather system. We have abided by these rules of gambling for a long time. If we get our eyes on the Doppler and a storm appears to be on the way, we need to take advantage of it. We need to try to beat FanDuel. If the meteorologists are wrong, we are fucked.
Yep.
This time, it appears as if every meteorologist is saying the same thing. Don't love betting on unders.
Hate it.
But it feels like tonight, 2022 NFL season, how it's been played, how these teams play,
primetime
and the weather.
Tonight's the night.
It's going to be a battle. Under 39.5, ETN gets a touchdown. It's plus 500. This would be back-to-back plus 500 Super Boosts hitting 1 week apart. Let's fucking get on a run, boys.
For those of you that don't normally bet the unders, there's a couple of things we don't want tonight, okay? defensive touchdowns, and we do not need a punt to get blocked. Okay.
No.
Need field goals.
Yep.
Need long drives, red
with
zone turnovers
at the end. Yeah.
All right. All right, that's what I guess terrible football.
Yes.
That's right.
Bingo.
Love Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Love him. Love the growth and the development. Trevor, I hope tonight you have nice, long, time-consuming, matriculating down the football field drives.
15 plays.
One of them where ETN gets in.
And let's just kick a field goal.
That's right.
And then Zach on the other side, all those scooters and the boys, long, boring, 1st and 10, 2nd and 5, 3rd and 2, 1st and 10. 2nd and 5,
Right.
3rd and 2,
Right.
1st and 10.
Right.
That's what we need.
Yeah. Then
Okay?
play like Zach Wilson in the red zone.
Yeah.
Throw your picks.
Throw all of them.
Throw
Hell
all
yeah.
of them.
But only down in their end.
Yeah, take
Yeah.
your time getting to that.
And then make the tackle.
And then we need ETN at some point just to somehow end up with a ball in his hands. Even if it's a fumble,
Yeah.
if it's a catch, pitch, run,
Sure.
fumble, annexation of Puerto Rico,
Yeah, playing slot corner, pick 6 maybe.
anything. Need him getting in his zone.
Yes.
That's right.
Touch the paint, ETN. We need you, pal. All right.
It's going to hit. It's hitting.
Hell yeah. We're
Goddamn
gonna,
right.
The baby 8.
I didn't like, I was going to.
Plus 500 too. No, this is definitely it's hitting. Yeah.
So I appreciate that. Hell yeah, we feel the same way. I was going to go after the Thursday one, boots on the ground. I was going to go Sunday. I was going to go Monday. I was going to go Thursday.
Right.
I didn't like anything. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, it's being responsible.
Respect that.
Good games too.
It's not forcing.
That's good gambling, like
Trust your instincts.
we finally won one. And there was a couple games like I looked at and I was like, I like, but I don't love. You know what I mean?
And in hindsight, it was a very wacky Sunday. So
It was
a wacky
It was
Sunday.
a wacky Sunday. So now we're back. Let's get into a rhythm here.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Let's get hot.
You know what I mean? Let's get hot.
Get hot in the cold.
Because you know what's mattering right now? Football.
Football.
Yeah, that's right.
So for us, the time is now.
Goddamn right.
FanDuel, your time is up. Our time is now.
Oh yeah.
Whose music is that?
Jow.
Cena,
Jow, dude.
Mr. Cena. So you guys
sorry.
have a
John Cena.
peacemaker. So you guys have an incredible Christmas. Let's win tonight. We'll
yeah.
see you tomorrow until further notice. Hammer, Dahn is in 15. Goodbye. Thank you all so much. See you.